Welcome back to the Pesky Report, episode 500, presented by Beyond the Monster. I'm Jordan, joined by Hunter. A little different.
You guys sick of me yet?
The weekday show.
It's like my third episode this week. You guys tired of me?
Well, hey, to be fair, this one and the interview that we're going to throw in probably in like 5 minutes as far as recording time goes, it's just 2 episodes. They won't get sick of you. But yeah, a different look to this weekday show. Yeah, just me and Hunter. So 2 people who are not traditionally weekday show people. So this is great. And we're going to, talk about this Red Sox series with the Phillies. I know that those of you listening are probably listening for the interview that's coming up in a few minutes. Because you've already listened to probably 1, 2, maybe even 3 Red Sox podcasts about this past series with the Phillies. But yeah, as you can see by the title of this episode, we've got Jared Carrabis on the show for an hour and a half. So it was longer than I had prepped him for. I told him they usually take about an hour, longer than
you weren't prepared for me though. That's the issue. You guys usually do an hour. Minor league shows usually 17 hours.
Well, as Jared will get into at some point during the interview or during his time on the show, if you ask Steve Peralt, he might think it's only on for an hour. So who knows? Who knows? But yeah, no, a special thanks to him for hopping on with us, talking Sox, talking wrestling, talking working out, which those of you who can see me watching on YouTube, I don't get involved in any of that. So I sat out that conversation.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I appreciate it. I'm definitely much better looking than I was 3 months ago. I will take that. And we have a trade to talk about, not the Red Sox one. We'll talk, not involving the Red Sox, but a player some of us wanted the Red Sox to trade for. But yeah, I'll stop beating around the bush and I'll let you guys listen to this interview with Jared Carrabis. So in honor of our 500th episode of the Pesky Report, got a very special guest with us, as well as representation of all 3 of our shows that we air during the week. Me representing the weekend show. We got Matt out of paternity leave from the weekday show, and Hunter coming back from the minor league show to join Jared Carrabis. And Jared, thank you so much for joining us. A little round of applause. Really do appreciate it.
Happy to be here. I feel like I've known all you guys to a certain degree for quite some time. So it's like bizarre to actually be doing a show together for the first time, which is, I feel like I text Hunter more than I text my mom at this point. So
I think the corrected statement there is Hunter texts me more than I text my mom.
Well, my mom do be texting me a lot, but it's like, so I think Hunter has this thing where he can't accept that I have his tweet notifications on. So he'll like bring things to my direction from his Twitter. I'm like, I saw it. Like I have your post notifications on. I don't have that many. Like I have like passing. I don't even have like any of like the Red Sox beat guys. Cause I feel like, I don't know, like Red Sox beat writers don't usually like, I guess Catillo has some good stuff, but as far as like the Red Sox writers, like what are they putting out there that's useful? So like Hunter's tweets, I'm like, yeah, like I want to know that shit.
Catillo's recent scoops have just been copying Hunter's scoops like an hour after he put them out anyway. So, I mean,
there you go.
You're better off with Hunter's notifications on. Let's be
Trust
honest.
me, I know where the good stuff is at. Like I pretty much subscribe to the Hunter exclusive information. So
I'm very bad with compliments. So
he keeps me in the know. He makes me sound smart sometimes.
Yeah, no, Hunter's great. Give him another compliment. See if I can make him blush too. Yeah, no, I think for probably a couple of months there was like that little stretch where we were poking fun at Sox Beat for never crediting Hunter for anything. Like it would be like,
I feel like that's more just like they probably just didn't see it. Like I don't think it was ever malicious. It's just I have 5,000 Twitter followers. There's a very good chance they just didn't see it.
I don't think so. I feel like at this point we're quote tweeting you enough where it's like if they don't know that you're the guy for that type of stuff now, then they're lying. It's not that they're not paying attention, like they're just being disingenuous about it.
They're citing the transactions log for the minor league promotions. We know that they saw your tweet, Hunter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plain and simple. But yeah, no, I think may as well dive right into talking Red Sox. Obviously, this being the trade deadline, and I'm just curious from your perspective, Jared. Just generally, what would be a successful deadline for you? Is it like a sexy move? Is it kind of just addressing several needs? Like for you, what would pass as a good deadline for Craig Breslow?
Yeah, I need a sexy move. I do. I can't have what happened last year, like the Luis Garcia, Danny Jansen, Lucas Sims trade deadline. Like I shouldn't have to Google who the fuck is. Can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I shouldn't have to Google who the fuck's coming to the team. Like, obviously we know who Danny Jansen is. I was somewhat familiar with Lucas Sims, but it's like, I want a surprise trade where it's like, I didn't see this coming. I've kind of let the ship sail on Joe Ryan at this point. I feel like that was something that it was fizzling a couple of weeks ago, and then the ship kind of sailed. By the time we talked about this on Section 10 last night, by the time that mainstream reporters were talking about it, it was kind of already dead. And then we had Passan on the Sports Hub last night, and he was like, "Yeah, the Twins are not trading Joe Ryan." And I was like, "Well, whatever Passan said, like if Passan says about national baseball, I take it as gospel the same way that like Hunter about like the Red Sox minor league system, like I take that as gospel, and like the Sox prospect guys. So I think because Coley was saying last night about, why don't they trade Duran and Willier? Like if those are their two biggest trade chips, then why don't they just go all in on like some massive trade? I mean, it's more of like a Jesus take the wheel situation for me. I'm hoping to be surprised in a very pleasant way. I think it would be great to finally have like a shocking move. Like when's the last time that we saw breaking and we were like, holy shit? Like it was probably like the Chris Sale trade going into 2017. Like it's been quite some time. I mean, obviously like the Devers thing, but
are we just counting trades or
no
trades or like Garrett Crochet or?
That one, there was some steam behind. I feel like that, like, obviously it was great that they pulled it off, but they were linked to him. Like, I want like when the Red Sox traded Manny and Jason Bay was coming back, we're like, where the fuck did that come from? Like, what the hell is going on? I want something like that. I want it to be something where we just didn't see it coming, but we look at the return and we're like, okay, all right, like there's a path here. They've chosen a path, and there's special talent coming in. Like that would be great.
I just so happened to be at the first game that Jason Bay played at Fenway, and I got a Jason Bay jersey from the team store, and like 75 different people asked me where I got it. And I was like, is this really like a fucking question? Like, I feel like this is so obvious, but just everyone asked me, dude, where the hell did you get a Jason Bay shirt? I was like, it's fucking team store, man. We're at Fenway.
One of my favorite stories is that I was in the Red Sox front office when the trade happened. So I was the governor of Massachusetts for Red Sox Nation in 2008. And I had a meeting with the Red Sox marketing team on the day of the trade deadline. So I was in the front office and I was in a conference room, and they had Nesson on the TV. 4:00 had passed, and you had like, I'm assuming TC was on Nesson being like, well, 4:00's passed and haven't heard anything. Like this is pre-Twitter. So it's like, you didn't have a way to have breaking news that way. Oh, 4:00's passed, nothing happened. And then maybe 10, 15 minutes later, you see like breaking news, like Manny Ramirez traded. And then the meeting had concluded, and I walked out into the lobby and I saw Larry Lucchino, and he was on the phone. And the only thing I can remember him saying was, we need to get that in writing, John. And I was like, what the hell? Like, what did I just like stumble into, like being at ground zero of the Manny Ramirez trade? But yeah, it was after 4 p.m. and Larry was telling, I'm assuming John is John Henry, that they needed to get certain things in writing before the trade could even happen. So that trade can confirm the T's were crossed and the I's were dotted after the deadline had concluded.
And
I mean, I was
that stuff. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
I was just saying, like, who's policing the trade deadline timeline? You know, like where does it have to be submitted to in order to make the trade official?
I'm sure
like,
the league polices it now, but back then was probably the Wild West. That there was probably, you could just blame your dial-up internet connection wasn't good, and that's why the trade didn't happen. But now there's no excuses.
Someone unplugged the rotary phone. I mean, I guess we're not quite that far back, but
yeah,
I was what, 8 when it was my 8th birthday when the Red Sox traded Manny. So I wasn't familiar with the lore behind him always being like gonna get traded, wants to get traded, and then doesn't get traded. So like I remember when that happened being out of my mind, like pissed off. I mean, I'm 8 years old. I don't even know. It's just so crazy to think about that trade. I feel like every time the Red Sox are involved in a huge trade, it involves the Dodgers, right? Like now you think back to Manny, then you obviously have the 2012 trade that happened in August, which sidebar, I think the waiver deadline needs to come back, especially with the extended playoffs. And then the Mookie trade. It's like the Dodgers are always kind of in the thick of it. So now if you want to talk about big trade that comes out of nowhere, is there one with the Dodgers maybe brewing? Because I saw like Dustin May is available potentially. The Dodgers are also looking for high leverage bullpen help. So like, I don't know. And then it gets the wheel spinning. I'm really curious where the deadline goes from here for the Red Sox, because it seems like it's going to be such a boring time to be streaming.
I know you said it a few times on stream, Jared, but I just, as long as they don't go rental, like, no, not to call anyone out, but like I sit on Reddit every once in a while. I don't know why that place is a hellscape, but like I saw someone the other day, and I'll post a video of Yastinson Garcia hitting a home run, and I'll have people under it saying like, "Go get me, Sandy Alcantara." And then someone said it, and no offense, I like him, Shane Bieber. Someone was like, "Oh, on the Section 10 Reddit, they said, what would it take to get Shane Bieber?" And their options were Yastinson Garcia, Peyton Tolley, or Brandon Clark. And I was like, if you're giving up one of them for a 6-month rental of a guy who's injured, I'm hanging myself. Like, it's over. We're done. I'm not doing that. That's miserable.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I get labeled as like
a good
the
year next year.
guy.
You just sign here.
Yeah, I understand being labeled as the prospect guy, but it's like, it's not that I don't want them traded for no reason. I want them traded for good things. Like, don't waste the top 100 chip in Yastinson Garcia for a guy who's going to be here for 3 healthy weeks of the season. That just seems like a terrible move.
I think he has an option for next year.
Makes it a little bit better.
Yeah. But even still, it's like, I'm with you on saving the chips. Like, I want to know that Biebs is back and he's throwing, 94, 95, whatever, and he looks good, because the velocity for him dipped big time before he went down and ended up getting surgery. Like, he was throwing like 90. So I want to know that at least like the velocity is back before I'm giving up a top 100 guy for him.
Recent ramp ups for people coming off of surgery has not been great either. Like, you look at Sandy Alcantara, you look at even Lucas Giolito, Walker Buehler last year. Like, I mean, it's not great. And so if you're looking to try to make a deadline move to get someone who will be an impact starter for you, going into the postseason, like a postseason run, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And if you're going to say, okay, well, we'll sign him in hopes that he'll be good in 2026, we already have Patrick Sandoval for that. So like, I'm kind of, we kind of have enough of those. We'll sign them while they're hurt and hope that they rehab great here, and then next year maybe they'll be good again.
I can't wait to complain about Patrick Sandoval next year. Like, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be like, how many times are we going to sign James Paxton? Pretty much. Like, how many times are we going to go through the James Paxton experience where you bring in players to rehab for a year and then essentially ramp up for half a year to maybe get a good second half of a season out of the guy?
Did Michael Fulmer even pitch in the majors for the Red Sox?
Game. He pitched I think the first 400 run outing was a Michael Fulmer outing.
Yeah. Yep.
But speaking of James Paxton waiver claims from a DFA, Eric Fetty got released this week, DFA'd. So James Paxton 2.0, perhaps. I don't know. Eric Fetty. Anyone
That
interested?
happened when we were recording Baseball is Dead, and the thought crossed my mind just because Coley was obsessed with them last year, and I was like, this isn't. I mean, his ERA is over 5. Like he got lit up by, I think, the Rockies. So I was like, well, maybe you throw him in the Bailey lab and see what happens or whatever, with the expectation of him being like your 5th starter. And all the under the hood stuff was like, no, let's not do that. And then Jay Hay brought up the point of maybe it's just, this dude was not even in the league a few years ago. And then he comes back because he figured out some new stuff, but then the league adjusted back to him. And it's like, it may not be that, he's broken down. It might just be that the league just has figured him out. And like, that's hard to come back from a second time.
I saw like a white light flash when he got DFA'd. I was like, it's like the writing is on the wall because all the talk about needing a new backup catcher. Recently, another DFA'd starter popping up. Like, that's going to be how it is. They're going to trade for Christian Vasquez, claim Eric Fetty off waivers, and that's going to be my deadline. And I'm going to have to eat shit again because I know, Hunter, you are the prospect guy, but I mean, you're right about these guys. Like, nobody watches them more than you and the Sox prospect guys. And I loved the Danny Jansen trade last year, and you can hold that over my head forever. I was very wrong.
I'll take some credit and I'll make myself look like an idiot. I was very high on getting Garcia and Sims. I was like, oh, that's the bullpen help. Like, I didn't think they were like elite, but I was like, oh, that shores it up. I was very low on the Danny Jansen trade. I was like, it's such a minute improvement to what they had. And so I was right on that. I was terribly off on the relievers though. So
Sims and Garcia were good before they got here.
Yeah.
Like they were having good years
when they got here. But
yeah, they were awful once they got here. But I mean, I don't think if anyone was not excited, but like thumbs up to those trades, I don't think that you were wrong. And it's just, they just sucked once they got here. No one saw that coming.
Yeah, especially Luis Garcia for me, because when I looked him up, first off, when they traded for him, I didn't see that it was the reliever. I was confused why they got the second baseman for the Nationals. I didn't know that there was another Luis Garcia. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this dude gets a ton of ground balls. And then he gets here and it's just bombs away. I felt like every other batter was taking him 450 to a power alley. He was getting absolutely crushed. Yeah. It was such a weird deadline. And then even like Paxton looked good. And then obviously his leg exploded. So, I mean, very bizarre deadline. I hope that that was just a learning experience. You got the toes wet last year, and this year can kind of get a little bit more. I think the term Breslow uses a lot, which is, it's intentional. Hopefully that's kind of the pathway this year. I really hope that it's not more of the same. That would be very disappointing, especially talking that huge game after trading Devers.
Yeah.
We're going to buy. Here's Christian Vasquez.
Yeah. They have to do something, I feel like they have to do something. And if Breslow is the type of guy that's going to go out there and trade Rafael Devers, then he obviously has the balls to make the big move. It's just, like that's not the big move. It is a big move. It's not the big move. So he's got to go make the big move.
Yeah. Do you think that there would be kind of any sort of like ripple effect in the clubhouse if Duran were to get moved in like a negative way? I mean, obviously they love Jared in that clubhouse, but as far as like they've responded to Rafi being traded, that already happened. Would they be able to withstand, in your opinion, that kind of big shakeup a second time to another everyday player that the fan base loves as well, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, the fan base is split. Like, I feel like anytime that if I tweet anything positive about Durant, it's always like, yeah, you just suck his dick because you came on your podcast. I was like, I've known him for like 4 or 5 fucking years. Like, no. But I to your point, I think Duran and like Story are those two dudes where if you trade them, like it will have an effect. I don't know that it's like, all right, we traded Jarren Duran, so now we're gonna go, 1-17 over our next 18 games. I don't think it's going to be something like that. I think that they're going to be sad, like he's amongst the top tenured guys on the team. I think the one thing that he probably doesn't get enough credit for, like when people try to undermine him, they're like, oh yeah, because he goes and takes pictures and signs autographs after the game, and he's really fast and he turns like singles into doubles. Whoop-de-doo. I think the one thing that he deserves a lot of credit for is shows up every day and he cares. Like it. I think the thing that's hard for baseball fans to hear is there are players on your favorite team, whether you're a Red Sox fan or not, that it is just a job to them. Their job is to work out, go get prepared for the game, go play the game, and then go home to their families. It's like, but Duran, he's thinking like, this is my mission. I want to win. I want to win here. I want to win a championship. I want to win every single game. I want to do well every single at bat. That's his mindset. So it's not so much that we're removing our buddy from the clubhouse, so we're sad about it. I think we're removing that type of energy from this group that I do think will be sorely missed if it's not replaced with somebody of a similar mindset.
Do you think he'll still be here? Sorry.
No, go for it.
Do you think he will still be here though? Come 6:30 on the 31st?
If he's still here after the trade deadline, I don't think that he'll be here on opening day next year. It just feels like almost inevitable that they will trade him, or I guess Willier. But I think when we're just looking at it objectively, like Willier is younger, has more control, and yada yada, better defender. So I don't know. I can't sit here and say it's a guarantee that they will trade him at the deadline. I don't feel that strongly about it. But I think when the Red Sox talk about we can have a logjam in our outfield for the rest of the year, it's not like we can do this moving forward, because then you're like, no one's really growing or getting the chance to take off if you have 4 or 5 outfielders for 3 spots.
Yeah, even rotating in the DH spot doesn't make any sense to clog that up with 4 or 5 DHs at a time. It doesn't get anyone the ability to grow against lefties, doesn't give anyone the ability to really see what that workload looks like of being a full-time player and dealing with the highs and lows that come with it. What I was going to say was, while we're on the topic of Duran, Amanda and Grace have been getting some like real hate online the last couple of weeks. They like real lowlifes coming out of the woodwork to just hate on them. I don't understand. I don't understand it. They see people that are, getting to do awesome things, getting to, know the players personally, getting on-field access, and then they decide to come out and, say horrible things about them. And it's pretty low. So if you're doing that, stop it.
Yeah, I've gotten to know Amanda. I've met Grace a bunch of times. They're both so nice. Like, they're just very nice people. Like, Amanda reminds me a lot of myself when I was I don't know how old she is. I'm assuming like early 20s, something like that. That's how I was. Like, when in 2010, 11, 12, when I was basically old enough, like I would always go to games with my dad, and when I was old enough to have my license and have a job that I could afford my own tickets and drive myself in instead of like waiting for my dad to take me, I was going as often as I possibly could. This was pre-social media. I mean, we had MySpace, so like I had my blog and everything, but not to the point where you could connect with players in the way that fans are able to connect with players now. And I think she has obviously made the connection with Jaron. He shouted her out in like the Netflix doc, and he's a big loyalty guy. As you know, it's a two-way street with the both of us. He's a big loyalty guy, and I think he sees how cool that is, that she, like, I could do anything I want with my time, but I'm spending it at Fenway Park. And then after I'm at the game, I'm going to go out by the players lot and wait to take a picture, get something signed. Like, it's cool what they're doing. And because they're so loyal to him, he's the one that's giving them the batting practice passes and they can go on the field. Like, that's the type of stuff that I would have been doing if I had the same opportunity when I was that age. Like, I basically did that minus being able to connect with a player and get like the batting practice passes and stuff like that. So yeah, it pisses me off a lot when I see people giving them hate because they're not braggadocious about it. They're not like obnoxious about it. They don't think that they're better than you because they get to do it. They're literally just friends who love the Red Sox, who love Jarren Duran, who got to become friends with Jarren Duran, and he is treating them to awesome experiences as a reward for their support. I don't see anything wrong with it. If anyone is kind of talking down on them, it's just pure jealousy. I've told Amanda that, like I've said to her privately, like, don't let it bother you. Like, 10, 15 years from now, you're going to look back on this time in your life as like, that was the fucking coolest time of my life that I got to do that, and enjoy it while you're able to experience it. And don't let the people that are jealous of you, that are talking shit about you, ruin the very cool experience that you guys get to have.
Yeah, I don't get people being upset that people are upset if someone gets traded. Like, I cried when Nomar got traded. And then I cried in high school. My uncle texted me that the Red Sox re-signed Nomar, and I put my phone in my locker. The whole day I was going around telling people that the Red Sox re-signed Nomar. Got back to my locker at the end of the day, opened up my phone, and my uncle texted me again. Oh, it was just a one-day contract. I was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. I still have the pictures. When I was in college, so I think this was 2009 that they re-signed Nomar. I had a public speaking class. No, I think it was later than that. It must have been 2000.
I think it was 2010 because I don't think my brother was in high school anymore.
Yeah, it was like 10 or 11, somewhere in there. But I had a speech class, and my two final speeches, the first one was on why the Red Sox should trade for Adrian Gonzalez, and the second one was why the Red Sox need to re-sign Nomar. And they did both. I got an A- on both. I went back to the professor the next year. I was like, you need to fucking change this. I was like, this is
I was right. Give me an A+.
Yeah, like you fucked this up. So I need you to go back and correct that for my GPA. Thank you.
I also go ahead.
I was going to say, who's the first player that you like connected with once you started getting into media? Because I know at this point,
Bobby Kelty.
Baseball is dead. Bobby Kelty.
Yes. So I started my MySpace in 2006. So this is my 20th season doing this godforsaken job. And on MySpace, I connected with Bobby Kelty. And in 2008, I was a freshman in college, and we chose to take our spring break in Fort Myers. And Bobby Kelty was like, I mean, he was a hero. He hit the game-winning home run in the 2007 World Series in Game 4 in Colorado. And we connected through MySpace. And he was like, hey, if you guys are coming down to spring training, he's got to leave you guys these passes. So we had same thing as Jarren Duran. Like, we had BP passes, me and the boys. I can say this now because it's so many years later. I was furious at the time, but we had like these VIP passes to go out on like this roof deck, and it was like free food, free beers. And we were 18, 19, and all my friends were just slamming beers. I was like, guys, like, we're here under my name. Like, you can't, and like, we're with like guests of the Red Sox. Like, you can't be slamming beers. Like, they're like, whatever, dude. So, we ended up going to the game. He gave us the BP passes. We had like the VIP to, I didn't drink, but they did. And then Bobby Kelty took us to PF Chang's. So yeah, he took me and my friends to PF Chang's. And yeah, that was my first like hangout with a Red Sox player experience.
I'm upset that MySpace isn't still a thing, because I feel like that would give us a ton of good Tyler Milliken content.
Oh God, yeah.
I feel like he would, like, if you didn't have him in your top 8, like, you would have to not have him in your top 8 just for the content.
Yeah,
that would be
you would have been 9. Yeah, you would have been 9 if it went to 9. I think you would have made it. Yeah.
Bobby Kelty's got to be one of those like one of the most iconic redheads that I can like imagine in Red Sox history. There's Justin Turner that comes to mind and Bobby Kelty. I can't think of another redhead off the top of my head.
Kristian Campbell, I think. Yeah, he's a
I
redhead.
guess maybe Christian Vasquez. Does he count?
I don't know.
Who was the other Dustin? MLB 07. Dustin Pedroia
Richardson?
was a rookie.
More?
Yes, that's who it was. And
Dustin
for some reason,
Moore.
they put Dustin Moore's picture for Dustin Pedroia. And my brother
Yeah.
always used to make, because my brother's a Yankees fan, and he always used to make fun of Dustin Pedroia because he was super fat. And I was like, dude,
Was it
that's
like-
not Pedroia. Stop.
Wasn't it like MOHR?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He
There
was,
you go.
God, didn't expect to hear Dustin Moore's name when I woke up this morning.
No.
On the topic of Tyler, when he gives a story, how many times has he told you a story where you're like, "There's no fucking way that this actually happened"? Because I swear, every time, yeah, every single time I listen to a story, I'm like, "How is he, one, still alive, and two, there's just no way. Like, he's not real."
This is my
Insane.
4th season podcasting with Tyler Milliken. And just like in the past month and change, he has told us stories from his past where we're just like, you were sitting on that this whole time? Like you had this insane story in the holster since the day I met you, and you're just now telling me this? It's crazy. Like I every day that I get to podcast and I know that Tyler's going to be there, I get excited because I'm like, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen today? Who knows what story he's just sitting on that he just failed to tell us at one point or another that's going to, like, what are we going to say that's going to jog this memory in his brain and unlock this story that no one is going to believe actually happened?
Oh man, love it. I love it. It adds a little, like, I've had to explain the Tyler Milliken lore to coworkers because I'll listen to it at the start of my shift, and they'll be like, "Why are you laughing? It is 7:45 in the morning." And I'm like, "This dude has almost died like 3 times in the last 2 weeks."
Yeah.
Insane. And it's like the most ridiculous story each time. And wild.
He's a
I will give him
cartoon
some-
character.
I'll give him some major kudos though, because that Stop and Shop Look Ahead song is fire. Like when he pulled that out for the first time,
When I go to Stop and Shop, I can cross off everything that's on my list.
Tactical move! Incoming!
Stop and shop. Look ahead. Stop and shop.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
Look ahead. Red Sox
Greatest
win,
sample
leave
ever.
'em dead. Red Sox win, I'm seeing red. Stop and shop, we look ahead. Red Sox win, leave them dead. Red Sox win, I'm seeing red. Stop and shop, we look ahead.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
What's better than having to stop and shop, getting it done for all of you?
For all of you. It's just a banger. It's a banger.
it's also weird listening to it at normal speed because I'll be honest with you, I listen to every podcast at time and a half speed. So like I'm used to like all these songs being like
Way too fast.
much faster, very
Yeah.
fast.
I feel like I'm the only person that doesn't listen to podcasts at a faster speed.
I don't either.
I get it. I mean, like our episodes are 3 hours long. I don't know how people do it because I don't really listen to podcasts. If I get up on like a Sunday morning and everyone else is in bed, but like the dog is barking and I got to take him out and I'm just like, I'm up. Like I'll listen to like the Sox prospect guys. Or like I'll watch, obviously like Hunter, like I'll watch like wrestling podcasts, but I'll watch them. Like I need to see it. It's very seldom that I'll listen to a podcast. I can watch it on YouTube, but you can't. I don't know. Is there like a speed up option on YouTube?
Yes.
I think so.
There is. Well, I wouldn't take it. That would piss me off, I think.
I can't do it.
That's
for Sox
exactly. I
prospects.
tried it and I couldn't do it. I was like,
Yeah.
I felt like I was missing words.
Right.
So-
yeah.
The Sox prospects guys, they talk too fast and there's too much information. Like I can't. They're the only people I can't listen to sped up.
Yeah. Yeah. We did not an impersonation, but I did my So like that's how Chris Hadfield concludes sentences for other people. Like they'll finish their thought and he'll say So now they cut that clip and put it on their Instagram today, and I commented on it. I said, I met him for the first time this year. And his mom. Wonderful people. Shout out to the Sox prospect guys. They do amazing work.
I was so afraid that they hated me for the longest time. I have no idea. I just I didn't think they liked me.
They're very nice people.
And then 5 different people, you included, were like, dude, they're like the nicest people in the world. I promise they don't hate you. And they've both been on the podcast since then. So I think we're good.
Yeah, they're very nice people. I've known Chris for a long time. I want to say we had Chris and Ian on to break down the prospects that were involved in the Craig Kimbrell trade. So that would have been 2015 going into 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a decade.
Damn. They've been doing it for a long time. They do a great job over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy. This, I mean, it's tough to not sound biased, obviously being in the Red Sox creator sphere, but it's unmatched how locked in this fan base is with its content, as far as whether it be podcasts for the MLB level or the minor league level. It's I will search for even a modicum of what we have from a SoxProspects.com standpoint for another organization, and there's nothing. Nobody's even tried it. It's crazy how behind the 8 ball everybody else is.
Yeah, I remember I think it was. I remember looking at SoxProspects.com in high school, and the website looks exactly the same now as it did back then. But it was Boston Dirt Dogs and Sox Prospects, though you would just rotate them. Boston Dirt Dogs was the website that kind of inspired me to get into blogging. I don't think the dude that runs it sucks because he talked shit about me when I was 18 years old on his website, and then he's kind of an odd cat where he over the years he's gone through phases of he hates me, now he likes me, but then he gets weird again. I don't know, but either way he definitely inspired me to blog. But yeah, those were the websites that you had back in the day, because if I guess because Barstool covered the Red Sox, but not really. They would cover the weird stuff that it's if there was a weird
the
looking
TMZ level shit.
Not even. It's it would be the in between, the Dennis Drinkwater video. Dennis, someone hit a walk-off home run and Dennis Drinkwater would sprint out of there. And it's so they're blogging about the weird stuff in between. It wasn't necessarily baseball. But I liked that. I liked that. It's I saw this weird thing during the game. Who else can I talk to about this? Barstool will have it. But yeah, Boston Dirt Dogs was one of the OGs of the space. But yeah, weird cat.
Shout out Jake, by the way, for that Dennis Drinkwater video. Just the gift that keeps on giving. Honestly.
I'm beefing with him right now. So
Dennis Drinkwater or Jake?
No, Jake. He challenged me to a game of backyard baseball, and then he didn't respond for 8. He waited till 3 a.m. to respond to me, and I called it a coward's move. Waited way too long.
Jake's
thought I was asleep.
He's a fickle man. It's Jake's gonna Jake. You can't. It's very much the podcast is very much like a band where everyone just has such a unique on their own personality. But when it comes together, you make beautiful music. But when we're all separate, it's what a bunch of fucking weirdos. It's yeah.
That's how
backyard.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the backyard baseball, bringing everything back from backyard baseball has been fantastic content. I don't know if you've played it at all, Jared. I know you had talked about at one point doing a backyard baseball stream. Is that something that's still on the table? I think Hunter potentially might want to challenge you to some backyard baseballs. I don't know. Is that something on the table?
I need to get the game against Jake in at some point. He can't call me out like that and then not play me. But in his defense, I don't think the online version works yet. But
that's what I need to know is talk to me like I'm an idiot, because I don't play video games anymore. But when I was a kid, I remember I spent an entire summer, like a school summer, playing backyard baseball 2001, every day, just all morning. Like I would come out for lunch, go back down, play it all day. And my parents were like, why don't you go outside and play with your friends? Because like this is way more fun. Like I'm having fun doing this instead. I haven't played the new version of it. How would it be possible to play someone if there's no online option?
They have an online option. It's just not working yet, apparently.
So they don't have one.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have the thoughts of one.
Yeah, it's like my air conditioner in my house. We have one, doesn't work, so I guess we don't have one.
Concepts of
That's
of an
rough,
online.
man. That's how are you surviving without an air conditioner?
So there's 2 units. One unit works. The one that works is the room that I'm in and my bedroom, so I'm great. The kids' room and the first floor kitchen living room, that one doesn't work. So it's kind of a pain in the like dinner, you're sweating it out. The kids, they're sweating it out constantly because they never leave their rooms. But like my bedroom and my workspace, I'm fine. I'm chilling. So
That's crazy.
Mhm.
Did you see baseball related Hulk Hogan?
I did see that
finally.
Yeah. We were recording BID when the news broke, and I was power ranking levels of sadness for deaths recently, and I put Hulk Hogan and Terry Bollea as separate entities. Like I'm sad that Hulk Hogan died. I don't know that I can shed many tears for Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was iconic. Terry Bollea, not someone that I would hang out with or endorse his opinions on anything. No.
His last few visits to WWE were rough. They were doing everything they could to get him cheered, and no one wanted any part of it.
Yeah, that made me sad. Like the fact that his last appearance on WWE television, he got booed out of the building. That feels wrong. But I mean, that's the consequence of being a shitty person in the last, 15 or so years of your life. It's like, I think it's sad, but I don't think that the fans that booed him were wrong. Don't be a bad person. You won't get reactions like that.
I'm just upset Iron Sheik wasn't alive to tweet through this right now, because he'd be putting out some fucking bangers.
He was the first person.
He would have zero
him on the other side.
Happened.
Hulk Hogan, fuck you, fuck the Hulk
Fuck
Hogan.
you, Bubba.
Yeah. Yep.
I had a little bit of a big 3 Nuttown question for you, Jared. So we got obviously Kristian Campbell in AAA, hit a home run today, but been working through it. Still a member of Nuttown at this point. We got Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer. All 3 of them have graduated off of like every prospect list just based on Major League service time. Roman Anthony, as of today, no longer the number 1 prospect in baseball. He's not a prospect on that list anymore. Is it still a 3-man band in Nuttown? And kind of what's your thoughts on the evolution of the top prospect status? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I do still think it's a 3-man band for Nuttown. I know people are down on Kristian Campbell. I know people are taking their victory laps because they said he wasn't ready, and then he got sent down and didn't look great after the first month. But there's no way that all of these talent evaluators can be wrong. Like that first year where he flew through the ranks last year, it's his only full year in pro ball. He went from college to just like, I'm going to play every level in the same year and then be in the big leagues by the year after. So did the Red Sox make a mistake in terms of having him on the big league roster as quickly as they did? I mean, it looks like it that way. I don't know many people that were saying at the time that it was a mistake. Like when it happened, we were like, yeah, dude, what else did he have to prove? There was no adversity at every level he hit. I think the one thing that we kind of discounted was, I think we were so excited about the bat that no one asked the question, what position does he play? And can he play it well enough? And that was kind of the holdup. And it just sucks that the demotion happened during a time where he wasn't hitting either. I think it would have been it wouldn't taste it as bad if he got sent down because the defense was so bad. It's like, all right, he's hitting, but like he's costing us games defensively. He got sent down at a time where he was not doing anything well. He wasn't doing anything right. And do I think that there's certain guys that their mental makeup, they can handle failure at the big league level and they can push through it and then get back to success, especially a player like Campbell who had a month of success. He was the AL Rookie of the Month in the month of April. So he was really good at one point. So he knows that he can do it at the big league level. Where I think in Campbell's case, they had to be careful was he is a very gentle, soft-spoken individual. Like you have to consider the personality of the player. If he continues to fail over and over and over again at the big league level, are we going to do some damage here? I think they decided the answer was yes to that question. Hasn't looked. I know he hit the home run today because I have Hunter's push notifications on. Saw the home run today, but outside of that, I mean, it's been disappointing even since the demotion. So I don't know that we'll even see him again this year, which is crazy to say. I didn't think that at the time that they sent him down. I didn't think that there was a chance we wouldn't see him again this year. I think that that's on the table now, especially because we don't know what they're going to do at the trade deadline. Like, do they add in? Like, who knows? Who knows what they do at the deadline? Like even now, like when we're talking about the Marcelo Meyer wrist injury, the first name that came up was like, do we bring up Von Grissom to play second base? It wasn't even Kristian Campbell. There was a debate about, why not Campbell? Like Coley wanted Campbell. I was like, you can't bring up Campbell. And I feel like everyone kind of agreed with that. You can't bring him up just because Meyer's injured. Like give Vaughn a chance, But in my mind, it's still a big three. I still believe in the player. It just sucks that it kind of got off to this start for him, but you don't give a player that kind of contract unless you really believe in the ability. And ultimately, yeah, I do think that he will be very similar to the player that we saw in April. It just wouldn't surprise me if we didn't see that this year.
Do you feel that we're likelier to get Campbell back or Kyle Harrison before the end of the season at this point?
Kyle Harrison, yeah. I mean, I know, like I mentioned it last night, like the Ian Kundle tweet, like he had like all like the data, like the spray chart shadow. I can't even pretend to tell you that I know how to read it, but he sounded enthused about it, and I was like, all right, yeah, okay, sounds good. I think that if Dick Fitz continues to give up homers, the Hunter Dobbins injury, who knows what happens in terms of I guess like the trade deadline. There are guys that I'm not saying it's likely they could be dealt, but what if a team calls you about Giolito or Buehler, like the 1 year, like kind of rental guys, and then a spot frees up in the rotation? Do you take the rest of the season and be like, well, what does this guy have? It's not like he's not pitched in the big leagues. He has big league experience over several years, right? He pitched in 3 different big league seasons. 2 or 3? 3? 3. Yeah, so you're not giving him his first taste of big league action. And if they like what they see, they're but they're working with his like pitch mix and using different pitches that he wasn't using before. Then yeah, I would like to see at some point what that looks like against the big league competition. But if Campbell's just continuing to flounder, there's really no reason to do more damage by calling him back up if he's still not performing well, even at AAA.
It really does feel to me at this point, so much of his confidence is gone. Like,
yeah,
you can almost kind of see it in him sometimes. Like he doesn't look the same. Like it's not just like, his swing's funky. It's sorry.
Whoa,
no, bro. Sorry, Hunter.
That's crazy. That's crazy, dude. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you thought you were doing there, but Jesus, there's probably fucking kids listening to this, watching
my kids just got home, Jared. They could have walked in and overheard this.
Right. Like,
oh my word, I'm gonna have to go apologize to everyone.
There's no place for it. There's no place for it. Not on this show, not on any show.
No,
can't have it.
My mom listens to this.
Well,
Suspend him again. His mom listens to this.
Apologize. Yeah, you're gonna have to apologize to her right now.
I'm sorry, Mom. Sorry, Robin. Yeah. That was rough.
Yeah,
but like he's you can like see it in his eyes almost that he's just not. He got really shook from the struggles and I think he went to AAA and like his second game he had the triple. He was hitting like 300. He walked a ton like the first 5 games, and then it's been downhill since then. And I feel like he just needs like a good week stretch. And I think once that happens, things are going to click and he's going to look a lot better at the plate at the very least. I also don't think it helps him that he's playing first base twice a week, second base twice a week, DHing once. I really wish they would just kind of give him a position because I don't think throwing him around at different places is helping.
I agree.
And he's one of those people I almost didn't tweet out the home run today. It's him and Kyle Harrison are 2 of the big ones, speaking of both of them, because the comments are always just so miserable under both of anytime I tweet about them. And I'm like, do I really feel like dealing with this? Like he hit a home run and I've gotten like 10 people saying like, oh, opposite field, who gives a shit? I'm like, it would be nice if he pulled it, but he hit a homer.
Yeah, I mean that's the one thing. Like he does have to work on pulling the ball more. But like anyone that's pissed about a home run because of the direction that it went, like get the fuck out of here.
Hunter, you're gonna have to start prefacing all of your Campbell tweets like you did with the Roman Anthony ones before he was called up, where you're like, brace yourself, Roman Anthony tweet incoming, and then tweet, the highlight after that, because you just know what's gonna happen. It's just every single clip's gonna just blow up, and everyone's gonna say, "Why is he not up here?"
I don't disagree.
Jared, are you guys going down to Worcester anytime soon? Are you going to try to do another Section 10 night at the Woo?
So I've been talking to them about it. All the dates that they gave us, Steve is like, that doesn't work for me. Like, to quote Hulk Hogan, that doesn't work for me, brother. Like, he keeps saying that for every single date. So the answer is yes. I think we're going to do it. It's just, I don't think Steve's going to be there, because I'm not going to not do it just because Steve isn't going to be there. Steve doesn't even, like, Steve is like the elusive member of the band. Like Section 10 night last year, he went and hung out with his fucking family the whole time. Like, all of us stood there, took pictures for 9 innings, and Steve was like, whoop-de-doo, gonna have popcorn with my dad. Like, you don't see your fucking dad every day. Like, Jesus Christ. So I'm not going to not have Woo Sox night because Steve can't be there, because Steve will probably, even if he was there, he's not there anyway. So yeah, yes, there will be a Woo Sox night.
While we're on the topic of Steve, I did have a question. Is it possible that, seeing how I was able to break Steve's news to you prior to Steve breaking the news to you last week, is that an invitation for me to be part of the Scoop Shop now? So I can just break Steve's news to you, because I think that would be pretty great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just ask Steve to add you, because he's just adding whoever now. Like I think his second cousin just got added to the Scoop Shop the other day. He's just taking any liberty that he wants to now. So yeah, he just ask Steve. He'll put you right in.
I'll say, Steve, add me to the group chat, and then you break your news through me. I'll break all of your news. Yeah.
Yep. Should be a super easy transition. Yep.
He's making up for being with his family on Section 10 night by now just bringing his family to Section 10 into the Scoop Shop.
Yeah. I mean, the karma for that was that because he wasn't with us, that was the night that we got mic'd up for the Netflix thing. They didn't use any of it, but they mic'd all of us up, and he was locked out of the ballpark because he had left. And it's like,
did they give you a reason why they didn't use that? I just feel like that's weird to be like, hey, we're going to mic you guys up and interview you and then cut everything.
I mean, I'm sure they had so much footage, but yeah, the only thing that pissed me off about the Netflix thing was they interviewed me for 2 hours and they only used me calling Duran an idiot as part of it. And I was like, all right, cool. I mean, like, don't use the part where I like hyped him up for 20 minutes and talked about like his mental health struggles and the battle and all that stuff. Like, just use me calling him an idiot, because that'll go over super well with him. And I can't remember what else we talked about, but there was plenty of good shit. And throughout, it's like they use all these different writers a million times. It's like you used maybe 3 seconds of what I said. I don't know. It pissed me off.
Did you think that they showed enough behind the scenes of the front office? Because I know going into it, that's something I was very excited to see was the trade deadline, how Breslow operated the front office, and how that, maybe was going to shake down. Were you happy with the final content that they put out there in regards to the front office behind the scenes, or do you think that they could have shown more?
I think that they could have shown more. I think they said that, the team didn't have any creative control or anything, but I know that there were like certain players that were like, yeah, take that out. It wasn't the team saying take that out, but I think that there were players that were like, yeah, I don't want that in there. And it's like, well, isn't it the whole point that they can't say that? So, I don't know. I think that there was, for a season that ended up 500, it was still fascinating to see what we did get to see, but it felt like they were trying to tell the story of the season, like the games, like too much game action. Like we don't give a shit. Like the games didn't matter. It was very inconsequential to, I think, like if you were trying to reach a big audience, Red Sox fans don't want to revisit the games because we know how the season ended up. And like, if you're not a Red Sox fan, what the hell do you care about the Red Sox and Mariners playing each other in August? Like, who cares? So I definitely wish that there was more behind the scenes stuff. I just want to know, like, what didn't make the cut? What did they think that wasn't interesting? Because like none of them are Red Sox fans. So I'm almost positive, without knowing for sure, that they had some stuff that we would have found fascinating that they were like, people won't care about this. That could have been substituted for, game footage that we didn't really care about.
Yeah, I feel like they dwelled a lot on the in-game scenarios, but almost like because they were just trying to get the story of the season told. But the problem in my mind was that like you said, there was a 500 season, so it wasn't like that was the story they should have focused on, and it
Right.
almost felt like they should have almost gone even out of. Well, they kind of did, but I guess they should have gone more like out of order. And it always something that's kind of funny. I always notice when like I watch reality shows, and they did it in this too, is like they'll film someone either way after the fact or way before the fact, and then they'll slice it in like throughout, but it's the same background, and they're talking as if they're reacting to like what's happening in the moment. So like Cam Boozer, for example, they definitely interviewed him in spring training, but then they like spliced in all of this footage of him like throughout his journey, making it seem like, they filmed it like after his debut or something like that. And
they blew us off there to go there. I remember that was, which like, it's fine. The number of times that they were like, hey, we'd love to come to your house to record a podcast. And we were like, great. And then I'm like, hey, Coley, when can you drive down from like trying to organize because they were like, oh no, it's fine. Like they just wanted to like film me in this room. And I was like, yeah, but like, if you want to film the podcast, like I want to showcase all the guys. I don't want it to be just me. So they're like, oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So like, all right, yeah, like we'll do it this day, and then have everyone clear their schedules to come over my house to like do a podcast so that Netflix can come and then they can film it. And it never happened. We agreed on a day and a time 4 or 5, 6 times. Like by the time like the 6th time happened, we were just like, forget it, dude. Like we're like, we don't like, we're like, how many times can you blow us off? And like, I get it. Like for the Cam Boozer time, it's like, all right, it's his big league debut. You got to round up the troops. And I think they were in Pittsburgh, maybe. So like they bailed on us to go to Pittsburgh to film Cam Boozer's debut, which totally understand. But there were a handful of other times where they were like, we want to come to your house, film the podcast and this and that. And I was like, cool, see you there. And knowing like there's no fucking chance that they're going to show up, and they never did.
I feel like they're also I watch these games and watch the season and track it like through the lens of if I were in charge of the Netflix doc, because it feels like this year would have been the year to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like all this drama with Raph. Like imagine having a Netflix cam in the fucking private meeting with them in Kansas City. Like, oh my God. That a whole episode dedicated to that saga would have been, I mean, it would have been heartbreaking to re-witness in 2026, but it's like, this would have been the year to have it. I feel like
this would have been the year that you would have gotten fans not in the Red Sox fan base being like, yeah, I'll watch that shit. Like, I'm genuinely curious how many non-Red Sox fans were like, I would love to revisit the 2024 Boston Red Sox season. Like, how many people were doing that? So, I mean, it's not to talk down on the project. I'm sure there's a lot of people that work really, really hard on it. I enjoyed it. I'm just talking from like a market standpoint. Like, I'm genuinely curious how many non-Red Sox fans found it interesting or sought out the content, knowing this is not about a championship season. This is not about a team that had a ton of drama. This is not about a team that had a superstar player that I'm interested in learning more about. Not even a playoff run. I don't know. I don't know what the numbers were, but to your point, yeah, I think if they did it this year, they could have done a whole documentary just on the fucking behind the scenes Raffy drama, like him getting kicked off the plane. Like, how awkward was that for, I don't know that Netflix would have been on the plane, but I'm sure they would have been nearby still. They probably would have been at Fenway to film him getting off or whatever, the bus, I don't know, something. Because he obviously went back to Fenway to clean out his locker before he had new travel arrangements to go to San Francisco. So, yeah, there would have been a lot of stuff, but
would have been interesting to see the like them bringing in the guys over from the trade too. I feel bad for James Tibbs, man. That guy got traded and like immediately fans started shitting on him because he was like a big part of the trade. And within 3 seconds of him getting traded, I already saw like, flip James Tibbs for this. I went to the Portland games in Reading last week, and I was told by multiple people, like, they joke with him in the locker room all the time. Like, dude, why the fuck are you packing your shit? Like, you're getting traded tomorrow anyway. Like, that's got to be freaking miserable, man. Like,
has to be.
Got traded for Rafael Devers. The fan base immediately rejected you because of it, and you're already being talked about getting traded again a week later. You've been in Major League or professional baseball for a year now, and you've already been traded and getting talked about traded again.
Yeah, it's gotta be a tough go, because I don't know if he's in a relationship or not, but it's like you probably get your wife, girlfriend. I don't know if he has kids. Like, you're moving your family and you're not making a ton of money in the minors, and it's long bus rides, and a lot of these people, they may not be with their families at all. Like, it's like, they may check in every now and then in terms of seeing them, but yeah, I feel for him.
One thing that Doc did absolutely nail was the Connor Wong hate, because like the one thing I got, like, as far as like the trade deadline stuff, like Rob with Wong right behind him, Rep Center's like, yeah, why don't we just like trade Connor Wong? He's just sitting right there. They were not wrong. They were just early on the Connor Wong boat there, and Bayo obviously fucking hating on him too the entire time.
Fastball. Everybody's got a fucking fastball. Yeah.
And now he's his personal catcher.
Yeah.
I know you guys have had issues before, like Josh Winkowski famously. You've had issues with him. Has there been issues at all, like, with Connor Wong? It's not like you guys tell him he's the worst human in the world, but like, you guys are obviously the most known Red Sox podcast in the world, and like you have not minced about how bad he's been this year. Has that been something that's like, have you seen him even when you, like, does he approach you guys at games, or you just kind of stay away?
No, I mean, like, I used to, prior to the Josh Winkowski thing, I used to go every Friday, and that started in 2018 because I mean, I wanted to be present, because it's like, if I'm lobbing bombs, then it's like, if you have an issue with that, then I'm here. Like, here I am. You can confront me, you can ask me questions, and we can discuss it and hopefully move past it, whatever. And when the Winkowski thing happened, I was just like, he basically tried to get me kicked out of the dugout, or like have like my press passes revoked, all this stuff. And I was just like, for years, I've been sitting in this dugout, and half the team would come and sit next to me, and we wouldn't even talk about baseball. They'd just be like, how's your family? What's been up? Like, what you been doing? How's work? Stuff like that. Like, we would connect as people. Like, these were my friends. And then there was a lot of turnover after 21. And Winkowski was like trying to get me fucking kicked out of the dugout. And I was just like, all right, man. Like, you think that I don't have anything better to do than to be sitting here in the fucking, like, I'm not here because I think it's cool. Like, I'm here for people like you that if you have a problem, then come talk to me. Don't go fucking complaining to the teacher to try and get me in trouble. Like, this is why I'm here. Come talk to me. And I went to the media person. I was like, can you go get him in the clubhouse and like have him come up here so we can talk? And then he went down there and he's like, oh, he said he's busy. And I already knew because I'd asked someone, he was down that day. He knew he wasn't pitching that day. So I was like, I know he has nothing to do right now. And still didn't come up, never talked about it. And I was like, all right, then go fuck yourself. So that's when I stopped going as much because I was like, all right, like my workout schedule is Monday to Saturday Monday to Saturday. So it's like I'm missing part of my routine, something I would rather be doing than sitting here to try and be accountable for you fucking whiny pussies. And it's like, if you don't want me here, then I just won't come. That's fine. It's better for me. Like if you don't want me to be here, if it's not something that you respect, like me being forward facing and available to you in case there's an issue, if that's not something that you have respect for, then I'm just going to take my Friday. I'm just going to do my arm day. That's fine. And I won't come. So, I mean, obviously Winkowski is a thing of the past, and I started going again, and everyone is super nice. Like there's no one that has treated me like that since him. And with Wong, he's walked by. I mean, he hasn't, like, I don't approach guys. If you want to talk, then you can come up and we can build a relationship and have a conversation. I'm not an asshole. Like I understand if him or like his family sees clips of us being like, you know, what is it exactly that you do here? He knows he's been bad. Like, what is he going to do? Be like, can you stop saying how bad? Like, he knows he's been bad and he can't necessarily disagree when you haven't driven in a run via a hit since last year. And it's the second half. And you don't have an extra base hit since last year. What are you going to say to the people that are like, he's been bad? Like, there's nothing to say. So it's not that I dislike him. I wouldn't not be his friend if he wanted to come talk to me. Like, I'm very friendly, like when I'm there. So no, there hasn't been an exchange or an issue with him. But I think what like some of the guys don't realize is that if you are friendly with us, it buys you a little bit of protection. Like, perfect example being Bobby Dahlbeck. Like I was very close with Bobby when he was here. Like we were like his now wife, I was dating one of her best friends. So like we would go on like double dates and like we were like very good friends. And when he wasn't performing well, it's like, I don't have to say this guy sucks. It's not my job to say that someone who isn't performing well isn't performing well. I can take the other route. And like what I do with Tyler, like when Tyler wants to come after Bob, he can say whatever he wants to say, and then I can suspend him for it. So like, you know, we are entertainment. We're not journalists. We're not reporters. So it's purely supplemental entertainment content for Red Sox fans who watch all the games and then want a little something more after they watch the games. So yeah, like it does go a long way to be cool with us. Like, cause we're obviously not going to be shitting on you if like you scratch our back, we scratch yours. Like if we want to do an interview, then it's like, that's great. That helps us out a lot. And in turn, we're not going to be like, this guy fucking sucks. We're not doing it. But that's the thing. We're not criticizing you because you don't come on. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I think like, if you're cool with us, we'll be cool with you. And it's, you know, pretty open to that.
What's the Fenway experience been like for you? Like compared to 15 years ago or something? Like, there has to be part of you that obviously like it's cool. People come up to you like, oh shit, Jared Carrabis, can we get a picture? They'll shout super fan at you, whatever it is. But is there like part of you where sometimes it's just like, I'm trying to watch the game, I'm with my family? Like, is there ever a time where you're just kind of like, I'm going to go up to a suite or something because I don't feel like dealing with 800 people?
So I do that. So like we still have the season tickets in section 10, and I never never take it for granted when someone comes up and wants to say hi or a picture or whatever. Just talk baseball. Never take that for granted. But after 2018, so 2018 and 2019, those 2 seasons, people knew which gate I came out. So I was living in Manhattan, and I would take the train from New York back to Boston and go Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And people knew what gate I came out of. And after the game was over, people would wait. And by 2019, after they won the World Series, the crowds got bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where security was like, you got to take this somewhere else. And I'm like, I didn't organize this. Like it's basically what was like the Jaron Duran thing. It's like people know that Duran goes out there and he signs and he takes pictures and stuff like that. So they wait in a certain spot, knowing that's where he's going to be. Outside gate D, it would be like Section 10 t-shirts everywhere. And I would make sure everyone got what they came for. You know, if you want to like just say hi, if you want to talk baseball, you want to take a video, you want to do a picture, whatever, make sure everyone got what they came for. But eventually it got to the point where I was like, the game ended at 10:30 and I'm not getting home until like 12:30. And like I wanted to, the whole point was, we go to the baseball tavern, and it's like I would go from a few pictures and then go to the baseball tavern and hang out with like Steve and Pete and whoever, to I'm walking in the door and being like, all right, give me 3 shots so I can catch up. Just like bang, bang, bang. And then I've got like 3 beers in my hand. I'm just like, I'm trying to, everyone's already drunk. I'm completely sober and it's midnight and last call's at 1. But stuff like that, like never take for granted. Like it like that period of time was so cool. I don't do it anymore because I had a couple incidents with like people with schizophrenia, like men and women, who like people have shown up at my house and like message me obsessively, like talking like they're talking like they're a scorned ex-lover. And I'm like, I don't want to be predictable about where I am. I don't want someone to be able to just walk up on me like that and in a vulnerable position. So I stopped doing it for that reason. But like when I go to the games now, I go up in, like one of the, not like a suite, but one of the clubs. And I know all the bartenders, like, Darren's one of the bartenders. He's like one of my best friends now. He comes over my house for all the wrestling pay-per-views. I have the same server every time. Her name's Ruth. She's amazing. John is the like Fenway security ambassador that's always out by the seats, and he takes care of me and whoever I'm with, my family. If it's like my girlfriend and her daughters, like he makes sure that everyone is situated. And Pam, she listens to Section 10. She's down the other end. Like she will like, find seats for everyone if they need seats. So like, it's not so much that, I don't go up there because I'm trying to avoid people. I go up there because it's like these people have like become family to me now at this point. They know my parents, they know my sister, they know my girlfriend, they know her daughters. And they like when we go to the bar, like I don't even know what my girlfriend's drink is, but they do. I'm just like, what's her happy juice again? And then like they just like whip it up and they're like, here you go. So then yeah, it's just it's the best possible baseball experience, because like I can just sit there, I can watch the game, and I know that like I hardly ever go to games by myself anymore, so I'm usually with like friends or family. Like I know they're good, they're taken care of, and I can just focus on the game, and that's it. But if there's ever a time where I'm just walking around the park, absolutely, like there's never a time where I'm like, don't come up to me. I don't care where I am. Like I know some people, they're like, oh, if he's like at dinner, I don't care. There was like, I told the story the other day about the dude at, I was at the Border Cafe in Saugus, and he hit me with the super fan, and he didn't come up and say hi after. I was like, he messaged me on Instagram. I was like, you could have came up and said hi. Like I'm happy to talk to anyone. Like if you support, especially after living in Manhattan for 3 years And anytime that I went to a bar, not fearing for my life, but like having to be on high alert because Yankee fans with alcohol, not understanding that like at that time I'm playing like a heel character and people would want to like fight me just for being there, just for being in a bar, just for walking down the street. So having that experience and being able to move back home to Boston, there's never a time where if someone comes up and I can tell that they've listened to the podcast or whatever, I'm like, yes, picture, handshake, whatever, make a video for your mom, whatever you want to do, fine by me. I'm happy to do it.
You mentioned wrestling pay-per-views. You mentioned turning heel. SummerSlam's coming up. Personally, I felt like WWE TV hasn't been the best lately, but Roman Reigns just came back. Has that gotten you back into it a little bit? Like, I don't know how you were feeling about SummerSlam before that, but has that hyped you up?
Honestly, no, which pains me to say, because I saw his video of him on the treadmill and he's like, yeah, all right. So like me and Jay tag team match against Braun and Braun. Like that's not a match that I want to see. That's not a continuation of like any story. Like I want the long-term storytelling. Obviously you can't do anything with Seth because he's hurt, but like, I don't know, like mix it up with Cody again, or like have him go after Cena or something. Like I don't know.
Like that they're calling him OTC1 now.
I hate that.
It's just
like,
you're doing too much. You're trying to get the extra marketing, trying to get the extra money.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's a play on QB1 because Cody like no one cares that Cody calls himself QB1. Like he's the tribal chief. It's not. They went from like tribal chief, original tribal chief, the only tribal chief, and then now it's like OTC1. It's like he's just a tribal chief. That's it. He's a tribal chief. It's crazy.
My goal is still just to get you more into AEW.
So
their pay-per-views always every time they have a pay-per-view, I that's like top tier night for me.
Every time they're in town, I go, but I don't.
And I know you're friends with Big Bill and Anthony Bowens, right?
Yeah, Bowens. Yeah, I was in his TikTok live yesterday. I popped in. He said hi immediately, and I was like, "How's Devers, that piece of shit?" Because he's a big Giants fan. But yeah, Big Bill came over my house and worked out in my basement, and then came upstairs and did the live stream with us when AEW was in town a couple months ago.
How much is Big Bill lifting? Does he fit on the bench is the real question.
No, he's massive. I didn't think he would be able to stand up down there. He was able to, but there's like a beam that runs through the middle of the room and he had to duck under that. So he doesn't do like astronomical weight, because what he does, like on a back day, he does 10 sets of 10. So he'll do like lat pull down, cable pulls, and like a low row, but he'll do 10 sets of 10. So he'll just do 10, 10, 10, and that's a set. 10, 10, 10. Like it's a lot of weight to be moving and a lot of reps and a lot of sets. But I mean, it's still more weight than what I'm doing, but it's not like you wouldn't look at it and be like, holy shit, like I can't move that. You know, like a lat pull down, like I'm probably doing like a plate and a 10 and a 5, and he's doing 2 1/4. So like it's definitely a lot more weight, but he's doing a ton of sets and a ton of reps. Yeah.
There was a guy, I used to go to this old like private owned Gold's gym with my friend, and there was a guy that was like a personal trainer. He was like 6'8" and he couldn't fit on the bench. And he didn't work for Gold's, but he would just like work out there. And every once in a while he'd work out with us, and he always wanted us to do like PRs for whatever it was. Like, oh, you're going to try to max out on the bench today. And I maxed out at, this was back when I was in good shape. I maxed out at like 235. I would die if I tried to do that now. And my friend maxed out at like 345. Couldn't get it. Dude, I swear to God, one hand curled it back up onto the spot. And I was like, dude, remind me to never get mad at you, because you will eat me alive.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of these dudes are just absolute freak athletes. But yeah, that's what he does for his workouts. I tried it once and I was like, I do not have the stamina for this. So like that's got to be like a 7-foot tall guy type thing.
You ever do like burnouts? Like on like if you're benching and you start just like 35s on each side and you do as many as you can, and then you go down to 30 and you do as many as you can. You go down to 25, 15, 10, 5. By the time you do the bar, if you're doing it at a gym, you feel you hope no one's looking. Because by the end, you're doing the bar and you're struggling to get like 3, and you're like, this looks so bad.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't do any workouts where it looks like I'm training for like an event. I'm just here for the aesthetic. I'm not. Yeah, like when I see people doing like all these crazy things for like legs and shit, like I've been working out legs. I've been doing it. Been trying to get in the game. But yeah, like I see some of these people doing these crazy like circuits, and I'm like, I'm not doing it for health reasons. I'm doing it to fill out a t-shirt. That's it.
I used to be in good shape, and then COVID hit, and now I took like 2 years off, and then 2 months ago I was like, I kind of have a gut. I don't like this, so I've been going back to the gym as much as possible. But
it's all diet.
Doing legs and stuff is miserable. Terrible. I go for runs every once in a while. I come home and I just fall down, and I'm like, that was stupid.
I'll never run another day in my life.
Are we gonna see some shorts this summer if you're working on your legs a little bit?
I don't know. I'd say the legs are probably gonna be summer ready for next year. Yeah, 2026. Summer of 2026 is gonna be the summer of shorts for sure. Yeah, maybe I'll get like a leg sleeve, and that'll be how I debut the shorts.
Draft combine, they always put you in shorts for some reason, so maybe by then.
Feels like a hazing ritual that they put me in shorts. It's like there's no reason to do that. Like I understand I'm at a pool, I'm not in the pool.
Are you going to do something funny next year to try and capitalize on the fact that you got hit by a ball this year?
I mean, I feel like we have to switch. They should put me in the pool. Just put me in the pool.
They should.
Why not?
Need some floaties.
Yeah, give me some floaties. Give me like I guess. So like the Bat Boys, right? Like the guys on TikTok.
Yeah.
So they have like a bat that they put a mic on top of the bat. I could be in the pool, like interviewing someone that's standing by it. They don't even have to get in the pool with me, and we could do it that way. There's got to be something that we can think of.
Phenomenal content. Yeah, like everyone would watch that because it just looks so. It would look so outlandish. This would be great content.
Yeah, I think they're moving the event from Phoenix though. I don't know if that's next year or the year after. I think they're going to Dallas.
I heard they were doing it in Tampa, so you could do it in the Ray Tank.
Ooh. By the way, Tyler Glasnow owes me a bet where he has to go in the Rays tank. We did the rock paper scissors thing in 2020, and I beat him, and he had to go in the Rays tank, and then he got traded. So he's not getting out of that though.
Well, and the ceiling's gone.
Well, we'll find an aquarium in LA.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be that Rays tank. Just find
just a Rays tank.
Yeah, he just needs to put himself in some sort of aquatic danger, and we'll go from there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he could probably rent out an entire aquarium just for the day.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got the money to do that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 30 mil a year? Probably.
Yeah, he's doing well for himself. Yeah.
Was there anyone at the draft combine that the Red Sox took that you were jacked up about? Like, was there anyone you talked to or even just like saw play?
No. and I don't even know if I should say this. I'll put it this way. There's someone that I made a video with hoping that the Red Sox would take him so that if they took him, I would have a video being like, look who it is. But they didn't take him. So
it's okay. I think I know who it is.
Yeah. Had to delete the video, set it on fire. It sucks. But
I also think I know who it is.
Yeah. I can't.
Did you by any chance text me this person?
Did I or could I?
Did you?
I don't recall if I did, but maybe. Probably.
When I told you they were taking Marcus Phillips at 33.
Oh, Brandon Compton?
Yeah, okay.
So I didn't get to not him. I didn't get to meet him. I was infatuated. I think the Marlins ended up taking Brandon Compton. But he was hitting nukes. I even in my second ever conversation with Craig Breslow, I was like, have you heard of this kid? Is he on your radar? Because if he's not, he should be. And I went out of my way to make sure that he was on the Red Sox radar. He went to the Marlins, unfortunately.
What was
Ooh,
that
a Sun
Breslow
Bowl.
conversation like?
Wow.
Which one? The second one or the first one?
The one that you were getting made fun of online for.
I get made fun of online all the time, but the thing is, I'll beat the fuck out of anybody
Because the video posted, like, you could hear you saying that you thought it was a playoff team.
yeah, and then they won 10 straight games, and everyone was like, "Yeah, we're going to the playoffs." Yeah, fuck you. That conversation, he was way nicer than he needed to be. So basically, like, what happened there is what I would love, would happen with Connor Wong. It's like, yeah, like, you've kind of been an asshole, but like, I understand that you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, no, he was way nicer to me than he needed to be, but yeah, we kind of just laid everything all out there and had conversations about the team and different things that had happened that we think will happen, that we want to have happen. And yeah, just we kind of left it at let's keep communicating and building a relationship and see where it goes from there.
So you're saying that there was a second conversation now
Yeah.
that has happened.
Yeah, the second conversation happened that same spot on the field before, or I think it was after the Carlos Narvaez interview when we were there for that. Yeah. Yeah. Not as long.
Jerry,
but...
super fan. What's up?
Yeah. Yeah. And when we had the debate and Steve was like, and I was like, yeah, it was about a 45-minute conversation. And Steve was like, it was probably like 20 minutes. Man, it was closer to 20 minutes. In the second conversation with Breslow, Steve walked up to try and mooch off my connection building. And I was talking to Breslow and I was like, Bres, that first time we talked, just how long do you think that conversation was? Like, if you had to like guess, like, throw a number on it. And he was like, I would say about 45 minutes. And I was like, fuck you, Steve, you dumbass. He's such a dildo, Steve. He is. It was probably like closer to 20 minutes. No, it wasn't. Yeah. You have the two people that were in the conversation saying it was 45 minutes. It was a 45-minute conversation. Yeah.
Oh man.
Carlos Narvaez interview was pretty cool. Obviously the first of the it's the first dugout interview you've done in a while, I think, at least at Fenway.
Yeah.
You got any plans of someone that you're kind of targeting as the next guest on Section 10, or just someone that you want to do content with, whether First Baseball is Dead or something like that, someone that you haven't already done content with before?
We're going to be there tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah, we're going to be there tomorrow. Who should we try to get?
Well, there's no Mookie, so you can't go over to the Dodger side. Can't do that again.
Right.
Are we going strictly people you've never worked with or never talked to, or because I don't know if there's many that you haven't talked to at this point?
Connor Wong.
I think
tomorrow's the day for Connor Wong.
Connor Wong. Yeah, we can get
what
Connor
about
Wong.
Willier?
Former Dodgers farmhand Connor Wong. It's a big series for him.
Yeah.
Does does Willier speak English? I know he uses a translator. I don't know that he speaks English.
I think he speaks very little English.
Yeah.
Because I know that's one of the things that people say. He always like changes his name basically. Like sometimes he'll pronounce it Wilger. Sometimes
he said that to me. Yeah. When I met him, he said Wilger. I think he understands it because I think if you ask him a question in English, he'll respond in Spanish and then have it translated. So I think he understands it, but he's not confident enough to speak it. Yeah.
Oh, dude, what about Sadon?
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't often see him out and about though. I don't recall seeing him at BP. I can try. I'll ask. I don't have a relationship. I when I was in Atlanta for the All-Star game, I got his brother's number. So maybe I can text him and be like, yo, tell Sadon to come chill with the boys.
I'm in a fantasy league with him as well. So I'll spread that narrative. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's hating on my trades lately. It's a dynasty league and he thinks I'm ripping everybody off. But I mean, listen, they're the ones that are hitting accept.
I mean,
I don't know. That's up for debate.
Great
we can take that offline.
Great executives always
get changed. Like,
yeah.
I will say I just talked to Peyton Tolley last weekend, and you are on his radar. We did mention you.
What did he say?
Just I brought up that you have been talking about him and how whenever you talk about someone that's kind of like a big Red Sox Nation thing, like all of a sudden you're more known in Red Sox fandom. And I asked him like if that's changed anything, like if he's noticed more people like following him, reaching out to him, and he was very excited that he was on your radar.
Yeah, he I want to say I followed him on Instagram, and it took him a while to follow back, but he did. But then I didn't realize, because usually if I try to connect with a player, it's on Instagram. Like I feel like players now are not big Twitter people. But then I found him on Twitter, and he was following me, so I followed him back. So it was like I followed him first on Instagram, he followed me first on Twitter. So now we're like this. I would love to. I still haven't listened to your interview. I'm probably going to be able to do that tomorrow, probably on the way into Fenway, because it's what, 15, 20 minutes?
15 minutes.
Yeah, so that's perfect for the drive in. Yeah, that's my listening assignment for tomorrow.
My that's the big issue I have is players are more active on Instagram, and my Instagram is much less impressive than my Twitter. Not that my Twitter is impressive, but like I have 5,600 followers on Twitter, and I have like 400 followers on Instagram. And I'm like, I'm reaching out to these players, and they're probably like, "Who the fuck is this?" Like,
what was that night?
Person.
What was that night that you did the big jump on Twitter?
It was like right at the beginning of the well, what big jump? Because I've had a few big jumps, but this year it was like right at the beginning of the year, because it was the first game for AAA, because Roman Anthony had the 2 homers, and that's when you like tweeted about it.
Yeah,
I had. It's still weird to me because I had 400 followers like 2.5 years ago, and then Ed Hand tweeted about me a couple times, and I went up to like 1,000, and then you tweeted about me a couple times, and now like I'm still not used to it, because I used to be able to just tweet shit and like no one cared. And now I'll just be like, Stinson Garcia is good, and I'll have like 800 people telling me I should kill myself. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, there was like I forget what it was. There was like some story that came out, and one of my friends was like, why haven't you tweeted about this? I've been tweeting about this. I'm like, well, because if I tweet it, then a lot of people are gonna see this, and it's just it carries a little bit more weight, and I'm trying to be careful about what I say about certain subject matter. But it's Twitter, social media, it's a powerful thing.
I'm still not good at not responding sometimes. I mute a lot of people. I don't block people because I don't want them to think that they piss me off, but sometimes I'm still like, I have to say something. You're pissing me off.
I used to subscribe to the same line of thinking, but now I will block people. Like if you like talk about like my family or something like that, like there's a different, like if you like chirp me or like you shit on the Red Sox, whatever, and like you're just annoying, that I'll mute you. But if you're just like clearly a bad person, then fuck you. Like I don't care. Like, oh, you're gonna tweet a screenshot that I blocked you. Woo! Like you got me. You got me, dude.
See, I don't have that. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have kids or anything, so I'm not like people don't have things to. I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 9 nieces and nephews, but like I don't post about them, so no one's ever bothering me about it. So I don't have that like that button yet where it's like, oh no, that's too far.
Well, people are like mean, but like it's also just outrageous. Like no one says anything about my girlfriend. Like, what are you gonna say? She's fucking smoking. like objectively, like you can't say anything about her. She's a 10. But they'll say stuff like, how does it feel to be raising another man's kids? And I'm like, well, I'm not. They're 12 and 17. I don't raise them at all. We kind of just go to Target and Starbucks together. So there's no parenting going on. It's just they like now I don't have to go to Target and Starbucks and Chipotle by myself anymore. It's actually pretty sick. So yeah.
Has that been weird? I know you mentioned it the one time that like one of them thought Jarren Duran is hot.
Yeah.
Like, is that one of those things where it's kind of like, all right, let's not have these discussions?
Well, I mean, so she got to meet him. She got like they took a picture together when he was at the house. I was like, yeah, you got to take a picture, but I was like with both of them, not just one. I was like, take a picture with both of them. But yeah, no, I mean, like, then she moved on. Now her new crush is the dude on the Bananas. And so then we went to the Bananas game and we were sitting in the second row behind the Bananas on deck circle. So like all night long, all the Bananas were like coming up to the fence and being like, "What's up, dude? What's going on?" I was like, go get that guy. I was like, go get this dude. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like they think it's funny. They don't think it's like weird or anything. They're just, I guess it's like normal to them already. I don't know.
See, when I was younger, I was like crazy awkward. So like I would have felt so awkward every time. Like if I'm 32, I think if I met Liv Morgan today, I would be the most embarrassing human in the world.
She follows me.
I hate you. I've said it to multiple people before. Because I know people that like work in wrestling writing that have like interviewed her, and I'm like, dude, you're a bad friend.
Yeah.
Like, how have you not slid the number to her yet?
Yeah,
not that I have.
It worked for Travis
percentage of a
Kelce,
chance.
so
But
yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Not that I have a percentage of a chance. You know, hey, you want to go out with a bad looking guy who makes $30 a week? What's up?
Maybe.
You
You
fuck with your Stinson Garcia?
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
And I'm I feel you there. I'm not quite to the 30 plateau yet. I turned 25 in a week, and I'm like that with everybody. Though I'm still super awkward with everybody, even people I fucking know. Like I don't know. I feel really awkward just existing like in public. I don't know, because like some people still to like this day will bring up the first pitch, and like I don't know how to react. I don't even know how to like react to it. It's
gotta own it.
I do own it. It's just like it's always aren't you the guy who hit the camera guy in the dick? And then it's immediately followed up with, aren't you tired of being asked that? Like, I mean,
they never ask about fever pitch?
No, because I hit a guy in the dick way more recently. So
I always forget that you're in that.
Yeah.
It's funny to me every time if it's like on in the background or something, and I'll just hear like Jordan Landry, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I get residuals for that movie.
Anthem.
That's
good for you.
Awesome.
It's like $4 every 3 months, but hey.
That's sick.
But yeah, I'm very awkward when I first meet someone, but the second I get any kind of comfort, you're not going to get me to shut up. So
yeah,
it's a bad balance.
There you go.
Such is life. I feel you on that. I know we're at an hour and a half. I don't want to. I'm very appreciative of your time, Jared. I don't want to keep you all night, especially on night the Sox aren't playing. So, again thank you very much for joining us, Hunter. I don't know if you have any other questions for him.
I think I'm good.
All right, sweet. I know Matt had to duck out because he had father duties to attend to.
Teeth to brush.
Bedtime in his household. But yeah, again, thanks a ton, Jared. It really means a lot that you'd come and join us for our 500th episode. Kind of crazy that we're at this plateau in our podcast history.
Thank you.
It's nuts to think about, but yeah, again, thanks a ton. It was a pleasure having you. Would love to have you on again in the future. Planting that seed now. But yeah, no, for Matt, Hunter, I'm Jordan, and obviously Jared in there as well. Until next time, peace out and go Sox. All right, that was our interview with Jared Carrabis. I felt really weird doing that in real time. I'm like, how do I go about it? I'm like, I want to intro it because I don't want it to be like we do this show and then we have the interview at the end or whatever. That felt really weird doing in real time. But yeah, that was our interview with Jared Carrabis. Thanks to Matt for coming out of paternity leave, as my lights keep flickering and it's driving me nuts. To join us, I was again super cool. Really love. It was awesome to get for our 500th episode, which I haven't. I mean, we broke up the streak of I think the minor league show got what 300 and 400, so we got the representation.
We also got 450.
Also got 450.
For some reason we get a lot of the like milestone numbers.
I feel like I almost kind of grifted the 500th episode off the minor league show because of all those interviews that you do with the prospects that I put as bonus and they don't get an episode number.
Hey, I think if it's under 30 minutes, it shouldn't count as an episode. So
That's fair. That's fair. I'll take it. I won't catch flack for that. But yeah, no, super cool. And again, thanks to Jared for joining us for an hour and a half. That was awesome. And yeah, we can get into this series with the Philadelphia Phillies that wrapped up at the time of you guys listening to it 2 days ago. Red Sox obviously only took one game, and it was in very dramatic fashion. I went on, so I do like my part of my routine now is I come home from work, I eat dinner, I go on a walk, and I do like it usually is like a 5 to 7 minute TikTok rant. So like nobody fucking watches the entirety of that because who cares? I debated not doing one yesterday because I got home from a doctor's appointment. It was right at game time. I ate my dinner, saw the score, went on a walk. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. As I'm finishing my walk, Romy hits a grand slam, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess it's turning into a run because I got to get home and watch this. But yeah, no, Hunter, what's your take on this series? You know, the Sox being 2-4 out of the All-Star break. Has this changed your perspective on how they should kind of go about the rest of the next week before the deadline?
it's really infuriating because I think a lot of people were trying to be realistic about the 10-game winning streak. And it was like, you played the Nationals, who suck. You played the Rockies, who historically suck. Like, that is, I knew they were bad. I hadn't watched a full Rockies game this year until they played the Red Sox. That's like the worst team I've ever seen play baseball. Like, they don't have business being in the majors. And then you played a Rays team for 4 games who were just crumbling. Like, they're like 5-15 or something ridiculous. And they've been bad. And even like in that series, the offense didn't really show up. That was the pitching carrying them to a 4-game sweep. So I feel like a lot of people were trying to be realistic, and it was like, okay, well, they're going to come out of the All-Star break, which that kind of hurts the momentum a bit. And now you're going up against one of the best teams in baseball in the Cubs, one of the best teams in baseball in the Phillies, and then one of the best teams in baseball in the Dodgers, although the Dodgers are falling off right now. And it's like, it's good to see them have that fight of salvaging the last game of each series when they didn't look great in the first 2 games of either series. And like, particularly that game against the Phillies, like you said, like you forgoed a TikTok rant because you thought that the game was over. It was 5-0 in the 4th inning or going into the 5th inning. So it was great to see them have that fight. And I know like Romy Gonzalez called it like the signature win of the year. My issue with that is he talked about like the signature win and having this momentum. And I feel like maybe not the players specifically, but media has said like, oh, this is the signature win. This is the win that gets the Red Sox rolling like 5 different times this year. And then they don't get rolling. Obviously they did have that 10-game winning streak, but so I'm a little apprehensive. I'm excited for the trade deadline, but I'm just worried that they're going to keep this trend up of looking terrible and then fighting and winning a game. And then there'll be buyers at the deadline, which I would love for them to make the playoffs. I would love for them to just be playing meaningful games in October. I miss that, but I'm afraid that they're going to trick people into thinking they're better than they are. I don't know what they are. They're dumb. They have so many young guys. They make a lot of really bad mistakes, but then they also fight, and they have guys like Romy Gonzalez, who got DFA'd by the White Sox, and now he's a key contributor. You've got Cedon and Roman and Marcelo and Carlos Narvaez, who had the big 2-run homer. So I feel like they're always going to have that fight, but they're so inexperienced, which is why having that playoff or even just like October games mattering experience is good for them. But I hope that this isn't fool's gold, like they looked so bad the first 2 games. They lost they're making up new ways to lose games. And they fight back in this one. And it's like, it's that as soon as I'm out, they pull me back in. Hey, that's what the Red Sox have been doing to me all year. So it was great to see them win that last game. But at the same time, there's just like that little frustration of, can you guys put it together for more than 5 innings? Because that's what this was. They played bad the first 4 innings of this game too.
Yeah, this is it has become a trend of getting, well, I don't want to say manhandled, because I mean they lost in extras in game 1, 3-2, and they faced Zach Wheeler. They faced some ridiculous pitching in this 6-game stretch. I mean, they've already faced Shota Imanaga, they have faced Zach Wheeler, Christopher Sanchez, and Jesus Luzardo, and they've won only one of those games, and they did beat I don't even remember who started game 3 for the Cubs. I don't even who the hell started game 3 for the Cubs? I know Drew Pomeranz pitched in that game. Who started it? It doesn't matter.
It wasn't Colin Ree. Was it Colin Ree?
Yeah. Colin Ray started game 1.
He started game 1.
Imanaga
Wouldn't have
game
been Matthew
2.
Boyd then.
Game 3, it was supposed to be Boyd, and then it ended up being Cade Horton. That's who it was.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, a first-round pick. So, I mean, I guess if you want to play that game there, I mean, they faced good pitching in this stretch. They've gone 2-4 against it in that stretch. Got Crochet a win and won in extra innings in game 3 of this series with the Phillies. I get there's a lot of PTSD from the last couple of seasons. Like roaring into July, getting close to the deadline, and which has become a very disappointing time to be a Red Sox fan lately. I mean, you even go back to 2022. I mean, even like, let's not play the retrospect game. 2021 was seen as a very disappointing deadline too. I mean, Hansel Robles and Kyle Schwarber were awesome, but everyone wanted Anthony Rizzo to play first base. Nobody wanted Kyle Schwarber to play first. He wasn't even healthy when they traded for him. And Hansel Robles had like a couple good years in the league and was having a horrible year in 2021, and then caught lightning in a bottle. And
he had a great entrance too.
He did. But like, you go back now, we talked about it with Jared the last time the Red Sox had like a breaking, and it was like, oh, we're fucking hyped up about this. I can't even remember the last time it happened at the deadline. Like, is that Pomeranz in 2016? As far as deadline acquisitions, Pierce wasn't a deadline acquisition. I was hyped for Schwarber because I love the bat, but I had no idea where they were going to play him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a sucker for like random middle infielders, so I was hyped for Luis Arias. I thought he was going to be good. I was very wrong there.
He was having a decent year for a little bit this year. I don't know what's happened to him, but
is he even still with the A's? I have no idea if he's even still kicking around over there. I know he had a walk-off grand slam earlier the year. Go figure. It's Luis Arias. That's what he does. He has grand slams. Did that in Boston. He has played. Hey, he's playing tonight. He is 0 for 1. 0.3 F4. Good for him.
He has not done much since I last looked, but there was a point where he was putting up decent stats.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like we talked about it with Jared. Last year's deadline, not a good one. Even worse in hindsight. My concern going into the deadline or going into the All-Star break was they suck out of it, but they've talked so much about how they need to buy because of the Devers thing, that they commit to it no matter what. And they do like a 2022 Dodger or 2023 Angels with Ohtani. And they're like, we got to buy because we have to buy. It's our only year. It's our last year with Shohei. And I guess in this case, our Shohei's Alex Bregman. And they buy, and it's just the wrong decision. And they have to waive everybody in August. So you get rid of all that prospect capital, and then fucking, I don't even know, Merrill Kelly is pitching for the Yankees after all. And I hate myself every time I watch him pitch. So, but you know,
yeah, it's like you said, it's something we talked about when Carrabis was on. But I need them to stay away from rentals, because to me, a rental is you're very confident this team's going to the World Series. And I don't think the front office is very confident this team's going to the World Series. And I need them to also stay away from something that they've kind of done the last few years, which is buying and selling at the deadline. That's such a mixed messaging, and it's like, if you're gonna sell, trade Duran, trade Chapman, trade off a couple people, whatever. But if you're going to buy, don't buy and then also trade Chapman. Don't do that. I'm fine with them buying and trading an outfielder just because that's the logjam. Like, if it makes sense, do it. If it's going to help you somewhere else, but I'm good on them going all in on doing both, because that gets really frustrating. Either way, I think they need to bring in another catcher if they're not confident in Wong. Even if they're selling, bring someone in, because Carlos Narvaez has every chance to be a very long-term catcher for this team, and I don't need to see him die on the field in 2025 because he's playing every game. I felt so bad for him this series. It was great to see him have that big home run in extra innings in the final game to give the Red Sox the lead, because he had, 2 catcher's interference calls, which
both were kind of bullshit too.
Yes, but
they were the right call, but both were such bullshit.
My bigger issue with the first one, with people complaining about the first one, is bases were loaded with no outs and it was about to be a 2-2 count. I think the Red Sox were losing that one anyway. But that second one is a weird rule. I don't like that. I don't know what a catcher's supposed to do there.
Yeah, I mean, the batter vacated the box because the runner's trying to steal. Like, I know not everyone's as cool as the other side of the pillow, like JD Drew, and stays in the box with Jacoby Ellsbury bearing in on him. But like, how does the batter not get punished for abandoning the box before the pitcher even lets go of the ball? Like, it just, I don't know. It was a weird situation. Jordan Hicks was an absolute puddle in game 1 of the series. I honestly wouldn't have even been shocked had that not been catcher's interference, if the next pitch Hicks yanked to the backstop and it was a walk-off wild pitch anyway. Like, he'd already thrown one in the inning. Nothing other than those 2 strikes he threw to Sosa were really close to the zone. I chalked that up to the first time he's pitched back-to-back days all year. He is moving back to the bullpen from the rotation, but yeah, to your point earlier, they're inventing new ways to lose, but yet they're still 6 over 500 and hold the wild card spot pretty firmly with the Rays in tailspin. Like, they're really bad. They're 3-7 in their last 10.
Yeah,
they lost. And a half back.
Did they lose 2 out of 3 to the White Sox?
Yeah, and Taj Bradley, who has been my go get him, just got optioned to AAA.
Hey man, his stock hasn't been lower. If they're optioned to AAA now, that would tell me he wouldn't be super hard to get.
Yeah, although I still think they apparently, I don't remember if it was Passan, Rosenthal, or Spear. So I'm in 3 way different realms here. That said that the Rays would want Willier, but I don't know if that was if they were giving up Yandy Diaz and Taj Bradley. I don't know. I don't think I would do it because I'm such a believer in Willier Abreu as a player anyway, but
I also just don't like trading good players in division, because then seeing Willier for the next 8 years hitting home runs off against the Red Sox, it would crush my soul. It's one thing if he goes to the Chicago Cubs and you see him once a year and it's like, oh, he hit a homer, that sucks. But if he's in division, man, and you have to see him 13 times, I don't need that heartbreak. So unless you're getting something phenomenal, I don't think Taj Bradley is enough of a thing. I'm also on your side of I'd rather they keep Willier. I get it. They do have a ridiculous logjam at the position, and say what you want about Yastinson Garcia is also an option at some point. He's also very much an option to be traded, but they clearly have to figure things out. I'd prefer them to at least free up one person now, and then if they want to free up someone else in the offseason, sure. But I feel like they need to do something now, because I don't like Cedar Rafael playing second base pisses me off so bad. He can do it. He's a great athlete and defender, but it's he is statistically the best defensive player in baseball when he's playing center field. And they're just but let's put you at second because we want to get Masataka Yoshida a game in left. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of putting your best defensive player at a different position.
Yeah, I think part of that is mostly how they've been managing Bregman. It's we got to get everybody in the lineup if possible on days Bregman's not playing. and the best way to do that would be to put Cedon at second base. I mean, really, if you think about it, the I guess correct way to do it would have been trying to get Jarren Duran prepped for second base because he's the worst outfielder of the bunch. And I'm not saying that like worst player. He probably still is if we want to go that route. But as far as defense, like he's the least valuable defensive outfielder they've got. And that includes probably Rob Refsnyder as well. Maybe even Yoshida. I mean, Jarren tried to kill him the one time that Yoshida played the outfield.
Yeah,
and I love Masa.
Like a tree trunk, so he's good.
He really is. Like if there was ever any doubt about Masa being built like a brick shit house despite being 5'6", like Jarren full speed, shoulder into the ribs, defenseless receiver. Like there's a flag on the play and Masa wasn't even down by contact, and he held on to the ball. So like, I mean, hey, I know you're a Commanders fan. If y'all trade Terry McLaurin, Masa Yoshida might.
No need to bring up sad things right now, but yes. Yes,
dude,
I'd be fine. I'd be fine with him. He could be an offensive lineman. No one's moving him.
It's true. That's true. He is all leg. So good luck. Good luck beating him in the Oklahoma drill. But yeah, I think part of it too is I think some people, and I'm guilty of this too because I love Masa. I bought the knockoff shirts of him squatting with the cat on his shoulder. Like I bought 2 of them. I think some people still think there's a shot that deal isn't a failure. Like it is. He's never going to be worth 18 mil. We don't have to prioritize getting him at bats. Like if he plays 3 or 4 times a week, great. Like starts. We don't have to prioritize starting him. I like him actually a lot as a pinch hitter with like 2 or 3 starts a week because you get to control the environment he hits in. Like you imagine being able to, like, especially in extra innings, we saw it in game 1 of the series. I know Duran is the spark plug. But you need a guy who can at least, at the very worst, roll it over to second base. Masa's your guy. Like, he can roll the ball over to second base for the best of them. And Jarren struck out, and then Bregman hit a ground ball that moved the runner, but might have been an RBI single with the runner at third. So it's being able to control the environment Masa hits in, for me, is more important than getting him 4 at-bats a game. Now, obviously, you need to mix him in, but
yeah.
He's not kicking Cedon to second base. I wouldn't do that. If you want to try him at first, that'd be funny. I would be willing to watch that for a game or 2, but no, Cedon should be sticking in center field.
I feel like there would be no in between with Yoshida at first. He would either somehow be the greatest defensive first baseman the Red Sox have ever seen, or it would be like he commits 7 errors in the first inning and they have to kick him out of the league because it was so bad. I genuinely don't think it would be like, oh, it's not good, but he's playable. I genuinely think he would either somehow be a savant or he would just be like, genuinely, we have to kick him out of baseball.
Part of me feels more like he'd be the savant. There's just something about Masa. Maybe it's just my personal bias because
it's so hard not to like Masataka Yoshida. I wish. Obviously he plays for the Red Sox, so I wish he was a superstar. But Masataka Yoshida being like Ichiro levels of successful bringing someone over from Japan would have been the greatest thing ever. Like the dude's always smiling. His teammates clearly love him. There's all the jokes with him like traveling everywhere. Like I just think he would have been the perfect, like, Red Sox fans embrace him and he is like the unofficial mascot of Boston because they love him so much.
I feel like some of that was starting this year, and then now he's actually playing. So now people are back to critiquing how he plays.
Yeah,
like
it was very much a missing him because he's gone situation.
Yeah, when he was a figment of our imagination, he was like in the Adalberto Mondesi realm of Red Sox lore.
I thought Mondesi was going to be a sneaky good pickup.
So did I. And but somehow, like I looked at Josh Taylor's numbers in Kansas City. The Red Sox won that trade with Adalberto Mondesi never playing.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts to me.
But the other big negative, there are 2 other big negatives in the series for me. Roman Anthony struck out a lot. That double in his last at bat, the last game, I think was massively important for his confidence. I'm not worried. Someone was it Matthew posted that thing of like Red Sox Facebook, and it was someone saying that Roman Anthony needs to get sent down to the minors. Like that's absurd. he had a bad series. He has been so impressive when it comes to his quality of at bats. Like even a lot of those strikeouts, he's not putting together bad at bats. Like Marcelo Meyer had that strikeout in the last game of the series where he just like it was a bad at bat, the first at bat of the game for him. And then speaking of Marcelo, that's the other negative. Obviously, the wrist. I don't know what the situation is. It sounds like they're prepping Vaughn Grisham based on Chris Cotillo's tweet of the Red Sox not having him play in game one of the game today. Actually, the second game just started. I should see if he is in the lineup. Red Sox. Okay, nope, he's in the lineup. Okay, he's batting fifth.
But David Hamilton, Nate Eaton, and Nick Sogard have also all played today. So
yeah. So
really
maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that means that they don't think it's a bad injury. Like maybe they're like, give him 3 days and he'll be fine. But there were also, despite the fact that they went 1-2, I think there were a couple massive positives. Walker Buehler, that's the best start he's had in forever. He looked semi-decent in his last 2 outings, and then that was, if he can just be decent, like if he can be your 5th starter who gets you through 5 innings every time, sweet. Like they need that right now with Dobbins being down and Richard Fitz is struggling, and Garrett Whitlock looked freaking disgusting. Chris Murphy looked good. And then it's obviously I've been the biggest Cedar Rafael fan, supporter. I think this is just who he is now. Like he puts together really good at bats. It's not like it's just like last year, a Cedar Rafael hot streak was him hitting a couple home runs and having a hot week. And like, even when he was hot, it's not like he was putting together these great at bats. He's working counts now. He draws the occasional walk. He steals base. I mean, he's always been fast, but he steals bases at an incredibly efficient clip. I think it works better at the bottom of the lineup just because it's good to have someone at the bottom of the lineup that's as electric as him. It's very much like the I forget who it used to be that the Red Sox would have bat ninth, and Alex Cora, John Farrell, whoever it was at the time, would say like, "Oh well, he's our second leadoff hitter. We have him at 9 so that he like sets the table." What
was it? Jackie? No,
it might have been. It was.
It was Jackie.
It was because there was that like 2-year stretch where Jackie was like good offensively, or above average offensively. And yeah, because it was during that when he had that like 26 game hitting streak or whatever, and he was shadow boxing behind Hanley Ramirez in that interview. And that was like why aren't they moving him up? And I think they did move him up a little bit every once in a while, but that was like the big thing was, oh well, you have the spark plug at 9. And I think that that's perfect for Cedar, but it's nice to know that like it's not just that he's hitting the ball, he's done enough to the point where Alex Cora and the Red Sox are like, hey, he's going to be our 3 hitter today. He's going to be our 2 hitter today. Like they trust him enough to do that. So I know some people might not take it as seriously coming from me, being as I've been the Cedar Rafael is a lot better than people are acting like he is guy for years now. But it really feels like he's turned a corner, and like this is who he is now. He's going to be a decent average who can walk every once in a while and has pop. And it's even if he was who he was last year, that contract was so much better than some people were acting like it was. For some reason, people hated that contract. They were acting like he was getting paid $40 million a year. That's going to be such a ridiculous steal for the Red Sox by the end of it.
Yeah, if you think you don't have the credibility to talk about Cedon's improvements because of you kind of always being a fan of his, I will say credible things because I was a hater. I've already. I mean, I will say my tweet where I publicly decided that I was going to eat shit on my stance on Rafaela coming into the year. I was hammered. I'm now sober. This is water. So, yeah, I was very wrong about Cedar Rafaela. Really stupid of me. Mercury was in retrograde. However you want to, however you want to do it. The moon was in a weird spot. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Whatever. But like the big thing for me, like last year, he went the last 6 weeks of the season without drawing a single walk. this year. I don't really care so much about the results of the at bat being a walk so much as I care about how do we get to the result of the at bat. Like when he last year when he got really bad, he was swinging at like literally everything.
Yeah, they were 3 pitch at bats. Yeah.
Yeah. Or less than that, and it was quick outs. Like he was not, and like his hot stretch, like he hit for some pop last year, and obviously he hit some majestic home runs even last year before he bulked up this year. A lot of like his hot stretch was like so many, I don't want to say duck fart singles and doubles, but he wasn't like he was driving the ball. This year he's pulling the ball in the air. Really since the end of May, they were like, hey, pull in the air. He's like, bet. And he's been awesome since then. He's got 3.2 F4, which I think still leads the Red Sox position player group. I think Narvaez is second. So he's been awesome. Obviously defense is paramount with him. Second base in a pinch, I can live with it. I don't want to see it. It's like I cringe a little bit when I see it, and then I like watch him play the position. Like he turned a really nice double play in the series finale, and I don't. Meyer probably would too. Like I don't want to be like, oh well, if it was this guy, he wouldn't have done it. I mean, if it was Vaughn Grissom, probably not, or Kristian Campbell, probably not. But he's a freak athlete, and I feel confident knowing if he's playing a defensive position, as long as it's not permanent outside of center field, I feel confident when the ball's hit to him that he's going to make the play. And like that was something that Lou Merloni's really been barking up a tree about with Trevor Story. It's like his range is worse and his arm is worse. One, I don't think his arm is worse. I think his arm is way better. If you watched the jump throw a couple weeks ago, his arm's fine. But when it's hit to him, it's an out. That's how I feel with Cedon. And that's huge, especially when it's in the outfield. Like I love a good ground ball pitcher. With the Red Sox defense, please hit the ball in the air to center. Like please, anywhere you hit it on the ground of the infield, unless it's a shortstop, I'm still kind of cringing a little bit. Or I guess maybe not to Meyer, but even with Bregman, I know he's a great defender, but like with his leg, I'm like, I don't want him to bend down too quickly. I don't like please don't hit it to Bregman. Please don't. And then first base is, first base. It is what it is, but. Yeah, no, he's been awesome and kind of the catalyst, him and Story, for this hot stretch of now like 40 games where I think they're like 28-12 or 27-13 or something like that in their last 40. They've been really good for a bit. And it finally reflects in the record, which I think like another thing Lou brought up was they'd won 10 in a row, which is where everybody was like, oh, look at they're 8 games over 500. They'd been playing better baseball for like 2 or 3 weeks at that point before the winning streak. It was just they were 6 under 500 when the good plays started. So it took a while to get there, but now they're there and hopefully can stay there with the Dodgers coming into town, which who knows?
Yeah, they had the walk-off hit the other night. Maybe that catapults them, but they've been so bad lately. Like looking ahead, it's like I don't feel bad about any of the pitching matchups. Like this is going to come back to bite me in the ass. I'm not scared of Clayton Kershaw at this stage in his career. I know he's technically putting up decent numbers, but like he's not striking people out, which has been the Red Sox biggest problem this year. When it comes when they get cold offensively, like if they put the bat on the ball, I feel like they're going to crush him. Like Dustin May hasn't been as good this year. I'm not scared of these matchups, and I know I'm gonna look really stupid in 3 days, but.
Yeah, no, I'm not scared of them either. I think the Red Sox, maybe game 1 of the series is like the one where I'm like, I could see. Game 3, I guess, to a point, but like I'm a sucker for a good story, like Bueller revenge game kind of thing. Like I feel pretty good about that. There's a reason the Dodgers don't want to have Dustin May anymore, and they're willing to float him in trade packages. Also, that dude is brittle. I would not even be shocked, even if he has a great start, he's out after 3. Not even injury related. He's just a brittle individual. I still don't know how a man fractures his esophagus. Like that's how he missed half of last year. Like how does that even fucking happen? I feel bad for laughing, but like how does that happen? Nuts. But yeah, to your point though, you mentioned Bueller having a great start. That is probably the best he's looked in a Red Sox uniform. Like period for me. I mean, given quality of opponent, I know he had a great start early in the year against Toronto, but Toronto in April was not Toronto of right now. But like he's been kind of reinventing himself all year because he doesn't strike guys out. He doesn't throw as hard. His arm slot's lower. He's constantly tweaking his mechanics, but he seems to have figured something out, at least in the last patch of outings. Like, he was good against the Rays. Like, I shouldn't say good. He was fine against the Rays. He was okay against the Nats, but he was great against the Phillies. And I'm excited for his start on Sunday. I'm not just saying that like manifesting because I'll be there. But I feel really good about his start on Sunday. And then, yeah, like I don't really fear this Dodgers team, especially if Mookie's not playing. Like, no Mookie revenge series, even though he's having
I
a
hope
bad
everything's
year.
okay with Mookie.
Oh, me too.
I
Absolutely.
was terrified of Mookie coming to Fenway. I was like, he's gonna go 15 for 16 with 9 homers this series, and it's just gonna be because he hasn't had a good year, and it's just gonna be one of those things where it's like now the Boston media just gets to restart that whole thing. So I was very terrified that he was going to just eat the Red Sox alive.
Big series for Connor Wong too. Like, maybe he'll start seeing
at this
red.
point, every game is a big game for Connor Wong.
It really is.
They have to be. I mean, I don't know if there's anything he can really do to save his Red Sox career aside from going like 4 for 4 with 4 homers in his next game, and then maybe the Red Sox are like, "Oh, wait a minute," but I can't imagine they're not bringing someone in at the deadline. If they don't, that is a genuine indicator to me that they don't think this team is going far, because I don't want to say it's their biggest issue, because backup catcher is never going to be your biggest issue unless you're like a perfect team. But like, that is a glaring issue because you're running your rookie of the year catcher into the ground because you can't play the backup catcher more than like once a week at this point.
Yeah, so basically I'm in like 2 or 3 boats here when it comes to Connor Wong. Not like none of them are good ones, by the way. But like, I think backup catcher is a luxury at this point. Like, I think as far as like, you just need your backup catcher to not be a butcher defensively. And I think the defense has regressed a little bit as the season's worn on. I think that's just from not playing. And then obviously like counting metrics, like his framing runs are going to be lower in the leaderboard because he plays once every 72 games. Like, he just doesn't play. So I think if you address everything, if you've crossed every T, dotted every I that you can possibly do at the deadline, you have time to get a backup catcher, then go do it. Like, if you go and you get Merrill Kelly, I know that you said stay away from rentals, but Merrill Kelly is just top of mind because the D-backs just traded Josh Naylor. If you go get Merrill Kelly, you get another reliever, you like first base. If you don't feel comfortable trading for Ryan O'Hearn within the division, and you're like, I'd rather get like the savvy veteran backup who's won a ring, and that's when you bring back Christian Vasquez. Like, okay, fair enough. And Connor Wong, honestly, 2025 is fucked for him. Like, he's screwed. There's no salvaging this season.
Yeah.
Getting another catcher, keeping Connor Wong in AAA.
Yeah, absolutely. He'd be great AAA depth.
Yeah. Like, I'd feel good. Well, I shouldn't say feel good. Again, I'm not in any good boats with Connor Wong. But like, if somebody got hurt, I'd feel comfortable knowing that a guy with big league success is there in AAA.
Yeah,
like,
if you told me, hey, Connor Wong has to come up for 2 weeks, I'd be like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah,
like,
we'll see him twice.
Yeah. And there is that one side of me that like, he's not this bad.
No.
Like, I don't think he's good. I don't think he's what he was last year. But like, I refuse to believe someone is this bad, especially after having a good year last year. Like, I think a AAA reset would honestly do him a lot of good, which is one of the big reasons I would love a catcher to come in and you put him in AAA, and then maybe he tweaks a couple things, he figures things out, and then he can come back and be a decent enough backup catcher, because you don't need like some superstar catcher anymore. You have Carlos Narvaez. It's not this massive need. Like you said, it's just a backup catcher is a luxury, and he can be a backup catcher. I don't think he's this bad, but I also don't think it's going to get better until he gets to just go work on things, which you can't really do in the majors, especially when you're playing once a week.
Yeah, I'm not a batting average guy, but I think hitting 144 is pretty shitty, to be honest. And like you said that he's not this bad. He's not. And I think honestly, like, we're looking at very similar player as last year, just outcome from like a quality of contact standpoint is like last year for the quality of contact Connor Wong displayed was like a 90th percentile outcome. Like he hit 280. Like he had an OPS of 758. He was a consistent force at times in the middle of the Red Sox order last year. This year, quality of contact very similar. He's hitting 144 with no extra base hits. Like he has gone from like a 90th to 95th percentile outcome season to like 3rd percentile outcome. With like the only thing being worse would literally be no hits. And he's threatened it a few times. I seriously think like there's the AAA reset option, which would do wonders. And like right now in AAA, they have Sebi Zavala, who they clearly have no faith in ever being a big league backup, or else that would be the switch there. Like you'd put somebody on the 60 or DFA someone and call him up and option Wong, or Ronaldo Hernandez, who just got back, which I'm sure you guys are thrilled about because that must have been...
Yeah, I mean, obviously former Red Sox prospect, but like they gave him up for nothing for a reason.
Yeah,
he is not a good defensive catcher. To the point he was literally just listed as a DH last time he was here. That doesn't instill a ton of confidence in me. He's played a decent amount of catcher this year. Maybe he made improvements when he was with Scranton Wilkes-Barre, the Yankees AAA affiliate. He was splitting time between catcher and first. But yeah, it's depth is the best I can say. He does have power, which is nice. Like I do think if for whatever reason they had to call up Ronaldo Hernandez, he'd at least be a semi-decent offensive production from the position, which if he's just your backup, that's fine. I'd personally rather have a really good defensive backup than a backup that can hit, but he'd at least be producing something. But yeah, they, like you said, clearly they aren't thrilled with Sebi Zavala, or else that would have been a move they've made at some point, because he is a guy with major league experience who's been sitting in AAA all year. But even like Yasmani Grandal was fine when he was in Worcester, and they clearly told him it's not happening, which is why he retired, which kind of sucks. I feel bad for him. Dude is at like 194 career homers or something. I'm sure he would have loved to get to 200 career major league homers. But
especially playing for Tech or playing with Tech in the dugout, because he said he really looked forward to working with him. Never got that opportunity.
I feel like that made too much sense. Like obviously they know more than us. They see more things. They have like the under the hood numbers and stuff. But eye test, he was fine. Like I feel like he couldn't have done worse than a guy who has 1 RBI and 0 extra base hits. And that RBI was on a sac fly. Like he's 0 for 29, is it, with runners in scoring position?
Over 30 now.
0 for 30. Like I can't imagine he's playing worse than that. And if he is, then you make the switch again. I don't know. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for Connor Wong, because this has to be like Carrabis said in the interview. He knows he's not good right now.
Yeah,
it's not like he's out there thinking like, why am I getting booed? Like he has to. That no one's more frustrated than him, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel horrible for him. I like Connor Wong. I know that it's like unpopular. It was unpopular to like him coming into the year too, which I thought was really weird. I'm like, why does he get no opportunity to improve defensively? We've just closed the book on a 28-year-old. And he made and the thing that sucks is he made the improvements defensively. Yeah. Like I don't want to say he's a good defensive catcher, but he is markedly better than he was last year. Framing, especially, way better. Maybe his arm is not as good, but it was like crazy good in 2023, and like just has regressed. And I still think caught stealing is a lot on the pitcher.
Yeah,
like a really good, like a good catcher catches base runners. So like Narvaez controls the run game. He's great at throwing base runners out. But I feel like 95% of steals are on the pitcher.
Yep.
And then like he made the defensive improvements, and just offensively, it's been an absolute nightmare for him. And I still wonder about his hand, not necessarily about it like healing him properly, but if he's like, it doesn't hurt, but like there's no conviction in his swing. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not there. I've never spoken to Connor Wong. I probably would be one of the only people in Boston that would be like, go get him, Tiger. You know, like not saying how get ready to work at fucking McDonald's like most people on Red Sox Twitter are like, but Yeah, no, I feel bad for him, but I think it's very telling he did not play at all in this Philly series. I was actually lobbying for him to play the last 2 games because I thought Narvaez needed a few days off after the catcher's interference.
Yeah.
He'd been looking miserable at the plate. He called me a bitch essentially and homered in the 11th.
That
And
is
caught a
crazy to
base,
think about that he didn't play. There were 2 extra inning games.
didn't even
Like
kept his
Narvaez
hat
played
on, like,
extra
barely.
innings this series.
Yeah.
In a 3-game
So-
series, he played 30 innings.
Yeah, and Connor Wong hasn't played back-to-back days since May, I think 2nd and 3rd.
Man.
Like, and I'm not saying he deserves it because he hasn't. I
It's
should say he
more
hasn't
that
made back-to-back
Narvaez would
starts.
deserve a break, but I also understand not doing it. You don't want to put in a guy who you essentially know is going to go 0 for 4.
Yeah, and like maybe after the deadline, if Wong is still here, that's when Narvaez gets a blow. Because I'm assuming at the deadline, like I think at bare minimum they're going to get another starter and a first baseman. I think that is going to happen. Will we be thrilled with who the first baseman is? No, because Josh Naylor was my number 1. Hand up. I wanted the fat guy who kills Garrett Cole.
Definitely would have been fun. Like I think fans would have loved Josh Naylor.
Yeah, and still the opportunity in free agency. I do also think they need to be kind of conscious of 2026 with first base as well, because I have no faith. Well, no faith in Tristan Casas to come back, not because of his work ethic or anything, but that is a gruesome injury to recover from. And then also the timeline. I don't even expect him to even be rehabbing until maybe around this time next year. So you got to be conscious of 2026. And I'm not really hell-bent on the the platoon at first base, especially when you're also going to probably try and platoon DH if Yoshida's still here.
I think if Blaze Jordan's on the roster after the trade deadline, he should get promoted at some point before the end of the year. Obviously, I guess that'll depend on if they make a move for a first baseman. But like Abraham Toro's been great for the most part. He's been slumping hard lately. Romy Gonzalez just hit the homer, but he was in an 0 for 20 stretch before that. If they don't make a move for a first baseman, especially if they're out of it, if it comes to September and they're not in the playoff race anymore, I think you have to see what you have in Blaze Jordan. He's been awesome this year, and he could be a legitimate option if they want to save money at first and go other places for money in the offseason. But it'll be interesting because they have, like, we're talking about all these things and so much can change in a week. Like
so much can change before we're done recording.
Yeah, there's going to be so many different changes. Prospects are going to be gone. Prospects might be added depending on if they are buying or selling or both. I don't know. I'm very much a prospect hugger, but I also understand. I always say there's no such thing as untouchable. If the Pirates called right now, very few things would move me in getting rid of Peyton Tolley. I would cry. I think he's like he could help the team right now if they wanted to throw him in the bullpen. If the Pirates called and said Skeens for Peyton Tolley, I would go pick up Peyton Tolley and drive him to. Obviously, that's not happening, but so there's no such thing as untouchable. But it's kind of like I just wrote about this Peyton Tolley, because of the ace potential, and then like Justin Gonzalez and Johan Fran Garcia were my 3, like, under almost no circumstances don't trade them, because for Gonzalez and Garcia it was more their value is never going to be lower than it is right now. Like, Garcia is just coming back from injury. He's starting to play good. He's also the best catching prospect you have in the system. The catching is terrible in the system. And then Justin Gonzalez, like, he's going to be a freak. Trading him while he's in single A, it seems really stupid. Trade him in 2 years. If you're going to trade him when he's a top 50 prospect and hitting 30 home runs in Double A. Like, you're just not going to get much for them. But there's so many other, like, Yastinson Garcia is probably gone. I love the dude. It's really hard to see them keeping Yastinson Garcia. Like, he's on the 40 man. That would be a way to clear up 40 man. Blaze Jordan could be gone. David Sandlin could be gone. Connolly Early could be gone. Like, they have the bullets to make moves. So I'm really interested to see what they do. I think like you said, I think a first baseman is going to happen because, like I just said, Gonzalez and Toro are kind of coming back down to earth. They're going to get at least a starter. They could also maybe get a bullpen guy. And then I think they go backup catcher just because you don't have to give up a lot. Like you could give up. Who did they trade Andy Lugo? Like they got Jorge Alcala for Andy Lugo. I like Andy Lugo, but I also won't pretend like he was some god tier prospect. He was just a fun guy in high A. Like you can do that for a backup catcher. You can get a backup catcher for a guy who's never going to see the major leagues. So like to me, that's one of those moves where it's easy to make that move.
Yeah.
I don't know who it's going to be. It's not going to be
probably
anyone
something
crazy,
that happens at like 5:45 p.m. Like, oh shit, we should probably get somebody better than Connor Wong. Let's call up whoever and get their backup catcher.
If the Rays keep losing and the Red Sox end up bringing back Danny Jansen,
I'm almost now rooting for it. One, for the wild card separation, and two, just because I would love to see your reaction to getting Danny Jansen a second time. He's actually, if the Red Sox got this Danny Jansen last year,
yeah,
you may not have hated the trade so much, or in retrospect.
The issue is they'll trade one of the prospects that I absolutely love just to really rub it in.
Yeah, that would, especially doing that within the division too. That would really suck.
But I mean, it's all going to depend on how they play. Like, I could see them sweeping the Dodgers, and I could see them getting completely humiliated by the Dodgers. And like that, either of those two outcomes is going to change a lot in how things are viewed. And then they have the Twins after that, who are like kind of on the cusp. Like they're technically not out of the playoff race. If they beat up on the Red Sox, I don't know. I just hope that they don't go like 500 in this stretch. Because I think if they go 500, that's when they start thinking about doing the buy and sell. Obviously, I'm rooting for them to just win every game for the rest of the year, but just please don't go 500. If you're gonna suck, but don't make the Red Sox be hesitant on what to do.
Yeah, it'll all come down to how they play over these next 6 games or so. Probably even less than that. I mean, I've been kind of predicting before every single series that this is the series they make a trade, so I'm going to stop doing that, which means it'll probably happen. Yeah, I hear you there. I mean, Blaze Jordan too. I didn't even think about him as an option for first base, and that's probably not fair of me to do that. I mean, he's obviously not been as good in AAA as he was in AA, but hard to replicate what he was doing at the end of his stint with Portland. But I mean, he's been fine in AAA. He doesn't strike out, which is something the Red Sox really struggle with, especially, I mean, Toro doesn't really strike out either, but like he's not. I look at Abraham Toro, like, and I really bothered me last night in the series finale. Like it sounds like I'm being an ass when I call him a selfish hitter, because he's not really a selfish hitter. Like, I'm sure he's not, but like situationally, I don't think he really like hones in on what he needs to do in a specific spot. So like last night, the Red Sox had the 7-6 lead, I believe it was at the time. It was the top of the inning that Realmuto tied it in. Toro has the runner at second base, insurance run, nobody out, first pitch, hanging slider. He's like, I'm going to hit the fucking Liberty Bell with this swing. And he pops out to short. Like, I get it early in the count. It's like, oh, this swing's for me. But like in that situation, that insurance run, way more important than hitting your first home run in 4 or 5 weeks. And I get, like, I'm not in the box. I couldn't hit once people started throwing 75, so I stopped hitting. But like Blaze Jordan, he's got pop, obviously, from the right side of the plate, which is something the Red Sox have. It's always a topic of conversation with the Red Sox now. But he's a guy who puts the ball in play, drives and runs in. He's like a multifaceted RBI getter. Like, he doesn't. It's not home run or nothing. He's not Tyler O'Neill, which crazy to fall off he's had this year. But yeah, Blaze Jordan could be an option down the stretch, especially if the market's a little too rich for them at first base, which I don't really know. I mean, like, Ryan O'Hearn's probably definitely going to get traded. I don't know what else is there really at first base. Nathaniel Lowe, that doesn't really make it move for me. I'd rather just stick with what they've got than trade for Nathaniel Lowe. Maybe it's just because his name's Nathaniel. Like, grow up. You're a 30-something-year-old man. You go by Nate or Nathan. We don't need to be Nathaniel anymore. But that was like a real talking point I had when I was in DC. Like, he came up and I'm like, fucking Nathaniel. Ugh. But yeah, who knows? We'll see. Is there any one specific player out that's been floated that you would actually really like the Red Sox to trade for? I mean, we'll leave Joe Ryan out of it.
I was going to say the cop-out answer is Joe Ryan.
Yeah, don't go with Joe Ryan.
Not really, because I feel like most of the names I hear are rentals, and I don't want a rental.
Yeah, I
really don't think that. I'm sure there's someone that I'm not thinking about right now that if someone brought it up, I'd be like, oh yeah. But I mean, like maybe Mitch Keller. And they've traded with the Pirates before, so I don't think it would be that crazy. I feel like you wouldn't get fleeced by the Pirates. But like a lot of the teams that are selling, like 100% selling, I don't want anyone from them. Like the Rockies have the worst team I've ever seen. The Nationals, unless you're giving me James Wood or Mackenzie Gore, I'm kind of good. The Marlins, keep me as far away from Sandy Alcantara as you possibly can. I'm so tired of the Sandy Alcantara debates. I'm not even that high on Edward Cabrera. Like he's been good for 2 months, and that's about it. I know everybody keeps bringing up like, oh, Heim fucked up when they could have gotten him for Justin Turner, but like, I don't think fans would have liked him if he's been here for 2 years. And it's the same thing with I said it on Twitter. It's the same thing with Sandy Alcantara. Everybody wants him. Walker Buehler's been better, and all fans have done for the last 3 months is bitch and say that Walker Buehler needs to be publicly executed. Like it's ridiculous. I don't know why fans who complain about reclamation projects are asking for reclamation projects. But like, no, is there someone on the Athletics or the Angels? I don't really think so.
Yeah, I mean, Jose Soriano is the one name that comes to mind for me because I was early to the party for Jose Soriano. I really liked him last year, and I floated him as a deadline acquisition. Well, not necessarily as an acquisition, but I was like, I wonder if the Angels would trade Jose Soriano. They didn't. But I've also kind of like soft launched like, hey, would Jarren Duran make sense for the Angels? Like, I feel like people keep looking at like the Reds. Like I know Andrew Abbott's name just came up as a trade target. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think the Reds really want to trade their ace or number 2, if you want to call Hunter Green the ace, for Jarren Duran. As good as Duran is and as good of a fit he'd probably be in Cincy, especially with Tito Francona, which I can't believe I never computed that as like a possible like match made in heaven manager-player relationship. Like I think if you're trading with Cincy, as for a starter, it's probably like Brady Singer, and like that doesn't do it for me. I like Brady Singer, just no. But like I want to aim. It's like I want to aim higher, but there isn't anyone to aim higher for. Like Andrew Abbott's like the tip, like the tip of the iceberg. Like that's the guy that would really excite me, but it's not going to happen. Then there's like Jose Soriano. I'd be pretty pumped, but like Red Sox fans would see that they're trading with the Angels, and it probably would cost Jarren Duran, and they would not like that return. I'm a big Taj Bradley guy, but he just got optioned after getting lit up by the White Sox. I don't really want to deal with with that. I mean, people text me about Taj Bradley when he sucks. I mean, when I say people, I just mean Adam Duncan Turn. He texted me. He's like, "Yo, your boy just got lit up." I'm like, okay, double agent. He gave the Rays a loss on his way to Boston. Absolutely love that. Yeah, I mean, I think this trade deadline is going to suck in a lot of ways. Like, and I hate that for me and Derek. it's just going to be a lot of us talking in hypothetical and nothing really materializes. I just think with the expanded playoffs, you either need to bring back the waiver deadline in August or the deadline needs to be like August 15th.
Yeah, have fun announcing that Travis d'Arnaud to the Red Sox trade. That'll really get you the views.
I like d'Arnaud. I wanted him in the offseason. How bad has he been for the Angels though?
I can tell you because he was on my fantasy team. He was like the worst player in baseball for the first month, and he's been fine since then.
Okay.
Like, he was hitting 152 at the end of April. 152, nice. 176, 212. And he's up to 236 with a 702 OPS. So still not great, but like for a backup catcher, sure.
Fielding run value -2. He's only played 41. He's barely played more than Wong this year. That's crazy. But he has a full win above replacement, or 0.9 wins above replacement on Wong, despite only having 0.4. That's sad. I'm sorry, Connor. I didn't mean to pile on.
I wouldn't mind the there's the whole Dylan Cease for Jarren Duran if they threw on a prospect, because Dylan Cease, I didn't realize Dylan Cease has kind of been bad most of his career. He had like that one elite season and then one good season, and outside of that, it's been like not good. So like if the Padres want to throw on a prospect or two, I wouldn't hate that. Like, again, you're trading from a place of you have to mess with the lineup every night and people's positions just to figure out how to get people into the lineup. So if you're going to clean that up and get a starting pitcher who, hasn't been great, but I would trust him to be the 4 or the 3 even, and be someone who can get you 5-6 innings every night. Like Lucas Giolito struggled the last 2 outings, but for the most part, he's been good. I trust Brian Bayo. Like, I wouldn't mind having Dylan Cease as the 4 and then figuring it out from there. But I wouldn't want to do him for Duran straight up, because I think Duran's worth more than that.
Yeah, I think people's idea of what a number 2 starter looks like is very weird. Like what's a number 2? Like, if you have a 1 and 4 and 3 number 3 starters, is that a bad thing? Like, if you have an ace, like they have Garrett Crochet, so they have an ace. Do they have to have a number 2 starter? Because, like, I don't view Joe Ryan as a number 2 starter. I view him as another number 1. Like, I don't like, he's technically in your number 2.
He would be the number 2 because of Garrett Crochet, but that doesn't mean he would be the ace on most teams.
Yeah. So, like, I look at Dylan Cease and I'm like, him, Giolito, or Bayo, any given turn through the rotation could be the number 2 starter. I mean, you even want to throw like Walker Buehler looked great against Philly. If he's actually figured something out, like we were talking in April when his ERA was like 4.3, that he was the number 2 starter anyway, and we were all okay with that. I get you want the sexy move, and for me, like, I don't know, I'd rather be wrong about some of the players they acquire and have them produce than get blown away. And like Joe Ryan, historically not a good second half performer. You bring in Joe Ryan and he's terrible. Like, I'd rather get Zach Gallen and have him be good than, like, I get that I'm speaking in hypothetical and the odds of Zach Gallen being better than Joe Ryan down the stretch, not likely, but I'd rather be like, they traded for Zach Gallen, could have had Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan stinks. Zach Gallen's good. They end up being right. I'd rather be wrong about how they approach the deadline for a good reason than get served up like top shelf liquor and have it taste like ass.
Tweeted something that I didn't even. We were recording during the first Worcester game. David Hamilton was pulled from the lineup for game 1, and he's not playing game 2 either. So it's going to be Hamilton, which is going to piss a lot of people off. But I mean, he's fast. He plays good second base defense, and they're not having him start, I'm assuming. I feel like we're going to see a lot of Romy Gonzalez at second, Abraham Toro at first.
Hopefully not Cedon at second.
Also, Cedon at second too. With them, that'll give them a way to put the outfielders in the lineup more. So that's fans are going to be annoyed about that. Vaughn Grisham's been I feel bad for Vaughn Grisham, man.
I do too.
Like, he was so good at the start of the year. They didn't call him up. Then he went through that slump, and he's been phenomenal for the last like month and a half. And it's at this point, he has to be like, what more do I have to do? People are getting hurt. I'm playing well.
He's shown a willingness to play different positions. Like
Yeah.
he's played short, second, first. I think he's even played third this year. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like I remember seeing him playing third. But he's played all over the infield. He's hitting. He hits from the right side. I know he's not
Yeah,
fast.
he's played 12 games at third.
Yeah, so I know he's not fast, but he's not like it's not like Yasmani Grandal slow. Like
Yeah.
he can move a little bit. He's an athlete. He puts the bat on the ball. He deserves an opportunity. And like if the
Yeah.
Red Sox have decided that, like, I think certain players, even like on the periphery of the 40-man roster, like at a certain point you got to do right by them. Like Vaughn Grissom deserves an opportunity to play big league baseball. Like he's earned it. I know he was bad last year, but then he was really good in September when he wasn't 15 pounds underweight. I know he had an absolutely atrocious spring training. Like he absolutely deserved the demotion.
Yeah.
To AAA, but he's earned a promotion, especially with David Hamilton being so bad. I feel bad for him.
And you would think that they would prioritize him because Chris Sale's been so good for the Braves. You would think the Red Sox front office, not that it would go into it a lot, but you think there would be a little piece of them that are like, all right, let's get him back to the majors so we can be like, oh no, look, we got a major leaguer for Chris Sale. Like you're really punting on this trade by just letting him rot in AAA.
I guess if they want to really or throw their eval out the window on the player, or maybe it was just about getting Chris Sale out of here, which would make me feel even worse about the trade because I remember tweeting like 2 weeks before them trading him that I would have extended him because I'm a sicko. And like their eval was clearly so bad on Vaughn Grissom that them seeing how he played last year, even with the sickness and trying to play through the hamstring injuries and everything like that, that they're just like, this dude has nothing for us. I just don't think that's true. I think he's got more for them than David Hamilton does. And if Marcelo's truly going on the IL, I mean, with a wrist injury, you have no idea how long he's going to be out for because it just doesn't magically get better. It just kind of, it may be like Bryce Harper was put on the IL because his wrist wasn't getting any better. And then guess what? It continued to not get better. And he's like, well, I may as well just keep playing then. And I mean, difference between Bryce Harper and Marcelo Meyer, but
which this could also be the trade deadline's coming up move. And they don't like, they're just like, hey, you've been in the majors this year. Our team's going to look different in a week. Maybe Vaughn Grisham's someone that they're shopping. Like, obviously the trade value isn't what it was a year ago, a year and a half ago, whatever. But I still think he could be a piece of a trade. Maybe he's what gets you the backup catcher, you know? Like, he could absolutely, he's still valuable. He's young. He's 24. He plays multiple positions. He's shown he can hit in AAA. He's shown he can hit in the majors. Like, he wasn't good with the Red Sox last year because of the sickness and everything, but overall, his offensive numbers aren't bad in the major leagues. Like, I'm 100% with you. He deserves a shot somewhere.
So, yeah, I also just don't even know what team is really like itching for a Vaughn Grissom either, too, because like he's a guy that you acquire. He only has one more minor league option after this season, right? I think, or maybe zero, because you got option last year, you got option this year, and I think the Braves option him in 2022. So I think he might be out of options unless they can
Pirates
Fugazi a fourth one. Pirates always make sense for
Pirates.
Everybody that's moderately
their
good.
offense is so bad. They should just acquire anyone that has a chance of being a decent bat.
But then who are you getting back? I mean, you're talking about getting a backup catcher. It's a backup catcher, so like we don't really have to be like, oh, who would be a great backup catcher addition? Like for me, I've sold myself on it being Vasquez or nobody. But like, are you bringing in Henry Davis?
He could be a piece of a trade. You can give him and something else for Mitch Keller.
Yeah, true. Could also get him out of here for a reliever too. Like, I mean, I still think the reliever they get won't be high leverage. I think they view Jordan Hicks as a high leverage arm, which I do too.
And if he ever returns,
and then there's
Garrett
Liam
Whitlock's
Hendricks.
been great. Like, yeah, I agree that they're going to get an arm because a lot of the bullpen guys are are turning into mud. Like Greg Weissert is his arm shot for the year. Like I don't think you're going to get first half Greg Weissert again for the rest of the year. But I don't think they need an elite reliever. Like as of right now, you have Chapman. Whitlock's been great. They apparently believe in Jordan Hicks. Alcala's been awesome. You are getting Justin Slayton back at some point. Like I don't think Justin Wilson's been great. You don't need
Murphy's been good too.
Murphy's been good. Yeah, you don't need some elite guy. So yeah, go get a decent reliever from someone.
Yeah, and they can take a shiny, slightly used Vaughn Grissom for him. I feel bad for the dude because he really never got an opportunity here. It sucks.
Yeah.
Gets traded for Chris Sale and never really gets an opportunity to be of any value to the organization other than just a guy who
love to
wakes
know,
in Polar Park.
I'd love to know what would have happened if he didn't get sick last year.
Yeah,
because he would have gotten a shot so much earlier. Like it would
have been the opening day second baseman, probably.
Yeah, things would have looked so different, and maybe he's not. I'm not saying he would have been a superstar, but like maybe he was good enough where it's just like, hey, he's our everyday second baseman, and things might look crazy different right now.
It is crazy how like one little thing really changes the course of history, like drastically. Because how different do the Red Sox view the big three if Vaughn Grissom's a good major league second baseman? Do they trade Grissom anyway? They just flip him in the offseason? Because I mean, the big three was the big three, but like you don't even think about Kristian Campbell as a second baseman.
100 prospect.
Yeah.
Like there is a world where he's a 300 hitter in the majors and like a very good middle infielder. Yeah.
And he's got some pop too. Like he's I don't know. It's crazy how like, I mean, again, if Grissom's a big league second baseman, is Kristian Campbell part of the outfield logjam now too? Like, I mean, I guess kind of is because he can play out there, but he's really not playing out there anymore. But yeah. By the way, do you think there's any possibility that he plays first base at the big league level? I really think that they need to stop that. And
Kristian Campbell, no.
He should play second, and that should be the only position he plays.
I know Coley got like fucking torched for it when he said that he felt like it was performative, that they were like doing it to show off to Devers, like, oh look, the rookie will do it. I genuinely don't think he was wrong. And then they were like, we actually do need a first baseman, and they started throwing him out because they abandoned that with him like almost immediately. And then after Devers got traded, they started doing it again. And I just he hasn't looked great there. I don't think it's helping his confidence. I don't think it's helping his preparation because now he's also like he clearly has things to fix at the plate again. But instead, they're like, oh, instead of getting that extra hour in the cages, go work on your footwork at first. And then they still have him playing second. I think he can be a good defensive second baseman, not an elite second baseman, but like I watched him play a lot of minor league baseball games. I never thought he was a bad defender. I was like, hey, this guy's athletic and makes some plays. Like, I feel like there's been some revisionist history of like, oh, he was always a really bad defender. He wasn't. He was an athlete who made mistakes, but like, it was never, oh, this guy's terrible. Like, I keep him at second, let him improve there. If he can just be like a slightly below average defensive second baseman, the bat will come back around. He'll figure it out with the bat. It's very good. Again, I mentioned it earlier. I don't even want to tweet stuff out about him anymore. The amount of ridiculous comments I've got. He hit a home run, and I have people saying like, genuinely, this is an actual tweet. Genuinely, who the fuck is responsible for developing our hitters in the minors? This swing is unacceptable for a college player, much less a top prospect. You're saying that on a video of him hitting an opposite field home run like 400 feet. Like that, it's absurd to me. Just let him figure it out offensively. He'll get back. Maybe not this year, but I think he should absolutely still be the everyday second baseman moving forward. That should be your plan. Trevor Story has been awesome. He's gone in a year, right? Is next year his last year? Or does he have two? Okay. But like,
I still think he's gone after the season's over. I think they'll find somebody to pawn him off on.
That wouldn't shock me. like you have this very clear path of Marcelo at short, Kristian Campbell at second, hopefully Alex Bregman at third. I really hope that they pony up for him, especially after getting rid of Devers. You kind of have to. And then free agent X or Blaze Jordan at first. Like you have the blueprints for your offense, for your infield.
And then maybe eventually Tristan Casas again, but
maybe
probably
Tristan
not.
Casas, yeah. But like Tristan Campbell should be your second baseman, and jerking him around is doing no one any favors. I don't get it. It would be one thing if they sent him to the minors and were like, "Hey, you're playing first base every day." The fact that they're doing this whole 2 games at second, 2 games at first, they even claimed, "Oh, he will put him in the outfield every once in a while." I don't think he's played in the outfield since getting demoted. He might have. If he has, it's been very little.
I think I remember seeing one lineup with him in left, but I could be wrong.
He might have. He's playing first base right now, to be fair, but in game 2 of the doubleheader. But I just stick him at a position. It should be second base, and let him improve defensively instead of messing with him, because there were scouts before this year that weren't even Red Sox scouts that were saying publicly, like, this is the best prospect I've ever seen. Like people were openly saying that about him. And I feel like you're really being weird with him, and it's bothering me, because a lot of people think you have something special on your hands, and you're being strange. He's played 12 games at first, 7 at second, and 5 as DH. So he's played. This is his 13th game at first, so he is playing a majority of first base since going down there, but by 1 game. He's played 13 games at first and 12 not at first.
I think it's just such a waste of an athlete too to put him at first base. Like when they decided early in the year that Casas and Romy Gonzalez was going to be a platoon, I thought that was such a waste of time. Now, obviously, Romy getting that extra burn at first helped because he's not a butcher over there anymore. But like, I don't know, like a guy that athletic, I just don't think belongs at first base.
Yeah,
and like thinking back. And now the eye test can be deceiving. I know that. But I just felt like the one thing Kristian Campbell struggled with was throwing the ball going to his right. So just something that he wasn't very familiar with doing as a natural outfielder that played some shortstop at the minor league level, no second base. Maybe a game or 2 last year. I remember when Mydroth was there, I think sometimes he played second, sometimes Mydroth played second. But yeah, I don't. It's like they're trying to fuck him up. Like they gave him the extension because they believe in the player. He's obviously a tremendous talent, freak athlete, and they're like, let's ruin him, or let's try to, and let's like, they're playing God with him. We're giving our toughest battles to our bravest soldiers, and Kristian Campbell is our brave soldier, and it's just. I don't like it. Like, just pick a spot for him to have him play every single day. And maybe that'll change after the deadline too. Like Hamilton, like again, guys on the periphery of the 40-man roster, David Hamilton, Vaughn Grissom, those are guys that are definitely like, we're trading for a backup catcher. Here's David Hamilton, which would be nuts considering apparently there were some crazy trade packages for David Hamilton in the offseason.
Yeah.
But like
that is
Vaughn
a good
Grissom
point though.
Too.
If they get a first baseman at the deadline, I wouldn't be shocked if they're just like, all right, Campbell, you're done. You don't have to play first anymore. Like, we now have our solution for the rest of the year.
Yeah, they're just keeping him fresh over there in case like Toro gets hurt, and they're like, okay, you'll come up so we don't have to burn a 40 spot on Blaze Jordan right now. Because I think some of it too is kind of posturing for the deadline. Like, you don't want to risk exposing somebody at the next level. Like Sinson Garcia has been great. I mean, obviously that creates there's the logjam issue in the outfield, but like I remember when he first got to AAA and he was mashing, people were like, "Oh, got to call him up too." And it's like, I mean, he comes up to the big leagues and he struggles. Then it's like, no, now there's a book on him as a big leaguer, and can't it playing poorly at the major league level does hurt his value. Like if they wanted to strip the extension away from Kristian Campbell, he is a less valuable trade asset right now than he was before he'd ever debuted.
Yeah.
So I think the same can be said about guys that get promoted within the minor league system as well. Like I think who was it that has been in double? I mean, Blaze Jordan to an extent too was down in double A for what felt like 1,000 games, even though it was like probably what 200 or so.
Yeah.
For me, it just felt like they were trying to avoid having him get exposed to the AAA level, and then he just eventually played himself out of double A. And then with Nick York, it was like, you have nothing left in double A. You need to either sink or swim. And thankfully he swam and got them through the grapevine, Yufiri Rodriguez, Marcus Phillips, and John Hollowbets. But we'll see. I mean, again, in a week, maybe Kristian Campbell never plays first base again. And maybe in a week, Kristian Campbell becomes the first baseman of the Boston Red Sox. Who knows? A lot can change. We shall see. But yeah, I mean, let's give our preview, or not preview, but let's give our prediction for this upcoming series, so that way we can wrap this up. We're coming up on 3 hours. Thankfully, we're the only Red Sox podcast I think releasing tomorrow, so people have no excuse but to listen to us. You better fucking listen. 500th episode, you better listen. I'll give the pitching matchups. Game 1. Actually, let me pull up the time. Sorry, I'm always unprepared for this. I gotta get the times up because
it's a damn shame.
You'd think I would just know this by now. Hang on. Okay, yeah. Game 1, 7:10 start. It is Brian Bayo against Emmett Sheehan. Game 2, we got national TV on Fox, 7:15 start. With Garrett Crochet on the mound against Clayton Kershaw. That's tell your grandkids about it, because you watched Unk face off against the young pig that dominates. It's like almost like a passing of the torch, I guess you could say, even though Crochet's already stolen it. And then Game 3, surprisingly not nationally televised. You'd think the Red Sox against Shohei Ohtani on a Sunday would be like ESPN would have drooled over that possibility. Alas, it is a 1:35 p.m. start time, so Nesson will be carrying that game. Walker Buehler against Dustin May. Potential rubber match, I think, probably. But Hunter, how do you think the series shakes out for the Sox?
It's frustrating because I said it earlier. I could see them dominating and sweeping. I could see them getting completely humiliated and having their pants pulled down. I'm gonna choose to be optimistic though and say they're sweeping here. I really don't. I don't have any fear of these pitchers. And the Padres, the Dodgers have just been on such a downward spiral recently. I know that they had that walk-off victory yesterday, which, like, maybe they're feeling good coming to Fenway now, but they're going to be without Mookie Betts at least for one game. I know he struggled this year, but still, this very much felt like a Mookie Betts revenge. He's going to humiliate the Red Sox and hurt their playoff chances, type of series. I feel really good about Bayo this start. His last 2 starts, he's had that like bad first 2 innings, and then he's locked it down and looked good. Crochet's Crochet. And then it's hard to not feel a little positive about Walker Buehler right now. Like, his last 3 outings haven't been bad. His last one, like you said, probably his best start in a Red Sox uniform. And just go out there and crush Clayton Kershaw. Dude has like 40 strikeouts in 55 innings this year. Dustin May has not looked like the Dustin May everyone was expecting a couple years ago. And then just Sheehan. So just go hit, as long as they don't strike out. I could see them putting up ridiculous runs, just ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm also optimistic about this series. I'm not going to quite go sweep. Again, I always try to avoid being on the like college game day panel where everyone picks one team to win and they end up losing. I will take 2 out of 3 here. I think they win Game 1 and Game 2. And even as good as Buehler has been, I think that game, I know I just said before that I think that Game 3 will be a rubber game. I lied. I changed my mind in the last minute and a half. But I think Buehler will either have like a turn back the clock start where he is filthy and we're like, where was this for the last 4 months? Or we're back to wanting him DFA'd. Like, I don't think there will be any in between. Like, I don't think we're going to get like that Rays start of 6 innings, 3 earned. It'll either be the Phillies start or the Angels start. Like, there will be no in between. And, I don't know. as much as I want to believe, and I'm also maybe reverse jinxing my own performance, but my winning streak is in jeopardy. They've won 6 straight with me in attendance. But hard not to feel optimistic about them at home. They're 32-20 this year at Fenway Park, which is like a huge step in the right direction from the last few years, where it felt like that's where they did most of their losing was at home. They've just been so much better at home. 2 of 3, no Mookie in game 1 of the series is big, I think, for me. Not for me, for the Red Sox. I don't fucking care if Mookie plays. I just want to win. I will make a bold take here, and I'll keep doing it until I'm right, and I can say that I'm right. First extra base hit for Connor Wong comes in this series. Start him against Kershaw.
Ooh. Okay.
Lands
so
down,
if he gets an
baby.
extra base hit against Kershaw, that's big time for you.
That's a good sign if Kershaw needs to go be a family man. The game is left to you, my friend. I do think for Connor Wong, it's like once the monkey's off his back, he will actually start to do some things. It's just, can he get the monkey off of his back? And I think for him, the monkey off his back is like Mass Pike. Like, here's an absolute like 425-foot bomb. And hopefully it's off Kershaw. That'd be hilarious. Like, all-time great.
Yeah.
Just
one of the few like Hall of Fame locks in the MLB right now.
and Connor Wong games him. That'd be so funny. Oh, I might bet it, even if he's not. Before I even see the lineup, I might bet it. We'll see. I love spending my money and not getting anything in return. Anyway. So, yeah. Any last thoughts, Hunter, before we wrap this up?
Giovanni Moran's having a really good outing in AAA right now. He's a sneaky pickup at the deadline. He's someone I could see coming in and helping the bullpen at some point. He's got 4 strikeouts in 1 2/3 right now. Good lefty arm. I could see the Red Sox giving him a shot at some point this year. And that's a good addition that won't cost them anything. So if they want to use the bullets on other things, that is someone that can help the bullpen. Not that they need more lefties, but
I mean, hey, you never have too many good pitchers on the roster, right? I mean, like, we saw Bernardino had like an 11 ERA in June, so he's talking about a guy who his arm's probably shot too. The fact that he was able to lock down game 3 of this series, which, by the way, welcome to the One Save Club, Brendan Bernardino. Forgot to mention that. So there's my final thought. Brendan Bernardino, One Save Club. His sister follows me on Twitter, which I think is funny. There's always like one relative /
you gotta love the random family members.
Yeah, there's always somebody there's always a loved one of a random Red Sox pitcher that ends up following me or liking a lot of my posts, and it's been dating back since 2019 that I always have one. Like, it was Colton Brewer for a couple years. His wife, Garrett Richards' wife.
Were you tweeting positively about Colton Brewer then?
I was a big Colton Brewer guy. That was when I first got into analytics. I was a sucker for the spin rate on this curveball. But I was a Colton Brewer truther. 2021 was Garrett Richards. I don't remember who 2022 was. Maybe 2022 I took a year off, and then it was Bernardino, 24 or 23 through now is his sister.
The first one I can ever remember for me was Robbie Ross Jr.'s wife. It's the first.
He was a good Red Sox.
I loved Robbie Ross Jr., man. I was very much on the train. Also, Giovanni Moran just got his 5th strikeout in 2 innings.
Demon. Huh. Anyway. So yeah, that'll do it for this edition of the Pesky Report. Again, episode 500. 3 hours long. Hell yeah.
Welcome to Episodes with Hunter.
Just as Coach drew it up, a nice little 3-hour episode to get you through your workday before Red Sox Dodgers. Again, thanks to Matt for coming out of hiding for the interview. Thanks to Jerry Carrabis for joining us for an hour and a half. That was big time. Absolutely fantastic. And thanks to Hunter for joining the weekday show for this.
This was my first ever weekday episode. It's fun.
Yeah, I think this is only the second time that you and I have ever done a show together, or as well. Or I guess third time if you want to count the this and the interview as two different recordings. I think the
It's
last
just
time was
usually
the
I'm
Sandlin
watching.
interview.
You also filled in one time because Jake and Derek couldn't make it.
That's right.
So you and Matthew joined, but I have all the minor league games on, so it's hard for me to ever do anything weekdays. But didn't want to miss this one, so made it work.
Appreciate it, absolutely. And yeah, so for everybody at the Pesky Report, again, this has been episode 500 presented by Beyond the Monster. I'm Jordan. Until next time, peace out and go Sox.